looking fancy.
Oh, look at that, a dress
So
shirt.
fancy.
I'm mad because usually when I smoke, I don't look high on the show because I've been smoking for so long. But I don't know if today's weed was really strong because my eyes have been like very fucking closed this whole time and I have not been able to get them open. So it just devoids the fact that I wore a nice shirt. Because when you look at the shirt, it's like, oh, nice. Oh, he's high as fuck. Never mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially that smile, too. It's not just your eyes, bro. It really isn't.
So, you probably can't tell Gunch is wearing a nice shirt because it's the same color as every other shirt he ever wears.
Meanwhile,
Fuck you, man.
Allie's just like, I just dressed up. I mean, this is a nice shirt and everything, but I wasn't trying to go for anything. Just looking nice. Meanwhile,
let's be honest with the audience. We were trying to get a Harvey Weinstein deal. We sent Allie to represent us. It was way before the information came out. Allie was so glad you survived, girl, and the dress looks nice.
Hey, did you watch them shower? Aw, I'm sorry.
Why, Ganja? Why?
Why not, sir?
Yes, why not?
I can give you a bunch of reasons why not.
No, people, but yes, we are here. This whole show, we're going to be talking about Black Panther. And we're going to really do a nice, good analysis of this trailer.
Oh, no, not again. Can we ever talk? Can I ever talk about Black Panther with everyone trying to kill me? The Civil War discussion? Fucking the midweek? Like, it'd be nice to just have a conversation about that movie that people want to kill me.
They're trying to crucify you over every little pin you fucking got, bro.
I'm just saying, people, when I joke around and say Alan's racist, I am joking. I'm clearly joking. You know, that's ganja.
What motherfucker you throwing around this racial bus?
Oh, man. Nah. Why does that have to be a bus for, man?
What?
Get it? Because Rosa Parks in the back.
I don't know,
Wow.
there's no train tracks. What the fuck you want from me?
Nick, those aerobics are great because you stretched like a motherfucker to get that one.
That was great. No, man.
Fuck you, Chad. I do what I want.
Oh, damn. Yeah, chat's... Look at his face when he attacked the only black female on the show. Oh, damn. Oh, Skull, fuck you. Speaking of, Skull
How
said...
did we attack?
No, I don't know, man, but it's just fucked up that he's even saying it. But the thing is, though, speaking of Skull, yes, we're going to talk about you right away, dude, because apparently, and I know he's lying, but I'm just going to put this out there. No, he's a lying sack of shit. But he's saying he's going to come up to the fucking, to New York, to the Double Toaster party. I don't think that's the case. I think he's lying, but if he is going to be there, we are definitely going to be... Get it? Because Rosa Parks? Yes, sorry about
Well, somebody got it.
See, you guys didn't pay attention in history class. You guys should have paid attention to history class, okay?
I paid attention to history class. I even went out my way and read the history book early. I still have no clue where that fucking joke came from.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a joke.
Oh, well.
Damn.
People, we're getting out to
R.I.P. Nick's joke.
Oh, R.I.P. Nick by the end of this fucking 2-hour thing here. Because people, hopefully we won't go on too long because I do think that we have plans for tonight. Forgive me, I actually do not know if we have a fucking viewing party thing tonight. Do we, Mr.
We do,
Bergman?
yes. Don't worry, just like how Tay asks every single day, if it's anime night, tonight is the after hours viewing party.
Oh, man, yeah, so let me go ahead and check this out real quick, too, because, I mean, obviously you're doing horror, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm putting the poll in the chat, but yes, we are doing a horror night. It's going to be just a grab bag, a list actually Nick came up with, and I just added a few things of my own there.
Wait,
and yeah,
I'm
just
scared.
a bunch of grab bags of horror movies, and if there's any other options you guys want, just let us know.
Yeah, and the straw poll's right here. I'm gonna actually look this up because I don't have it on my end. And the thing is, you said this is something that Nick came up with, so now I'm scared. I'm scared as fuck.
Yeah, you sent me a bunch of pics because I'm like, I don't know fuck all about horror.
Whoo! Thank God. Okay, you did do this.
What kind of list are you sending him that you got so terrified?
No, because the thing is, he said something about 20 Days Later recently, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
I've always wanted to see it because I've never sat down to watch it because I
so
never had
good.
any reason to. So I figured, fuck it, it's a horror themed night. Why not?
Yeah, but I will say 28 Weeks Later is definitely better. 28
Wow.
Weeks Later.
No, days later.
No,
Allie,
fuck that,
I'm very
weeks.
surprised that you're a fan of 28 Days Later because that was like the most scariest in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
compared to the
surprised.
sequel where it's mostly an action film. Like, to be honest, Nick, you've seen 20 Weeks Later, right?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
That was more of an action film compared to what the first one were. That was definitely like Resident Evil 1 compared to Resident Evil 2 or 3.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could see that being the case. I mean, for me, I like the scariness of the first one, and plus, it was just unpredictable, and I was like, oh my god, these are not zombies, these are rage-filled fucking, like, rah, the fucking thing. But 28 Weeks Later just felt like it was more of my zombie flick that I wanted from the first one. You know what I mean? Plus, I
Right.
love Dawn of the Dead, the way they took what 20 Days Later did and made it really badass. Zack Snyder, everybody. No, but, and James Gunn. But Yeah, the shit was okay. The second one, though, man, I fucking love that movie. 28 weeks later. I hope 28 years later or 28 months later some shit comes out.
28 years later.
Well, one thing, like for his thing, the way they set it up, like for him to go to Paris and all that, like it's gonna cost a lot with the budget. And he hardly was able to get that much for 20 weeks later, even though I think it was a box office hit when it came out. I think
I thought both those were huge hits.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I can't really remember. I didn't care about box office stuff back then, so I never really went back and checked.
I can look.
And one more thing too, like I mean, while we're talking about this, I'm just gonna like a little meanie, like maybe I'll try to sell you on certain movies because Jason 6, like here's the thing, Jason movies are fucking awful. I'm sorry, but Jason is fucking trash. But trash. And the words of the famous Jet Jackson, trash.
Or Sky. There's somebody out there.
Oh, Scott. Oh, that's fucked up.
Inside jokes don't work if it's only two people that know the joke, fool.
No, it's kind of insulting too.
I thought we told the story on the show. My bad.
No, because Sky is actually Whiskey Wolf too, so he's probably gonna be like, "Wait, what are you trying to say?"
Oh, man. I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. And that is someone who actually does watch this, and he hates me for some reason too. Fuck you, Sky. I was right in the wrestling thing. But anyways, I'm back on here.
What kind of wrestling beef are you bringing on here? Get back to the list.
I was like, ringside hangouts, bro, all the way. No, but the thing, man. Sammy Gonzalez and Ian are gonna be doing this. I think this week with Patrick Gertz. They're gonna be doing the retro review of the thing. Maybe you guys want to watch that to kind of like get up to snuff with this thing before they actually watch it, so you can give you guys' opinions in the movie. And then obviously Freddy Krueger. Man, why didn't none of you guys vote for Nightmare on Elm Street? What the fuck is wrong with this community?
Because everyone likes 28 Days Later.
Oh my god!
Those are right now.
You know what's fucked up too? You're actually in the chat telling people vote 20 Days Later. So
yeah, I will sit and I will watch that if we were watching
pressure.
28 Days Later.
That's the thing. Like. A lot of people are actually voting for that. If it comes between 28 Days Later and the thing, I might just go 28 Days Later. But we'll see what Ganja thinks.
I don't know. Me personally, like when it comes to 28 Days Later and the thing, because they're almost on the same par. Its difference is the thing is a parasite rather than a virus, right. But it's the same kind of survival aspect. How these people are surviving in a world that's being taken over. Where this is more all of Europe, not Europe, but all of England. Whereas the thing is more centralized at this Alaskan military base. I just think that the thing, because it's one of those horror movies that are just built on like knowing the characters more, knowing their relationships with each other, and then when they start getting popped off, you start feeling bad for them, or you start feeling this kind of tense or afraidness they feel with this character running around. I mean, not this creature running around and taking part of different parts of their aspect of these friends they've come close to. But besides that, it's very slow paced. Whereas 28 Days Later, it just has these moments where your heart just starts fucking racing. And how quick things change from just a calm, slow like movie where it's depressing and it's like almost like a Children of Men story. And then at some point, this zombie just comes out of nowhere and they're being chased by 15 motherfuckers, and this theme song has got you hyped.
Yeah, no, and people are like, yeah, it's how Jason 6 is to Nick. No, the thing is, the reason why I actually chose how Jason Lives, by the way, is like the whole like sub name of the movie. Where
is that? Oh god.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of good.
After he dies.
I'm surprised we're watching the 6th one. Like, am I gonna know what the hell's going on?
It's because it's the only Jason movie that actually like it gives you the Jason that you've come to know. Like when you play Mortal Kombat X, or when you see the big like gimmick of people like, oh, you think of horror icons, you think of Jason with his fucking clothes all ripped and his face all. That's Jason 6, and then onwards. And I'm looking at the thing. I saw a little change. I saw a little bit of a change there. Well, let's not do that. I'm not gonna share that.
Nightmare on Elm Street got 1 vote. That's a change.
Okay, you don't gotta laugh. Okay.
Okay, me and Ganja made this rule. We're not allowed to vote. Neither are you.
God damn. Oh, I was not voting, you fuck.
Sure.
There's somebody who likes Freddy Krueger out there, man. And you know what? Whoever that was, I love you. We're awesome. The whole fucking thing.
Man, I'm gonna let you know right now. Nick pulled out his cell phone. He logged into his Switch. Every internet browser had his own
logged
IP
into
code.
His Switch?
His Switch. We all know he got a Switch, the little bastard.
I wish I had a fucking Switch, man. That would be awesome. I'm gonna hit you with the fucking Switch, saying that I got a Switch and I don't got a fucking Switch. You Switch. Like, son of a Switch. No,
but you little bitch. Switch on, switch on.
Fucking A. I don't know what else to say on that shit. Oh, God. Hey, let's switch the rules, though. Because Ganja Guru, I know you're not showing your face right now, and that's okay, man, because I don't show my face either, and I have certain reasons for that.
That's because I have a runny nose right now, and nobody needs to see my allergy attack. That is disgusting for everybody involved, including myself.
Okay, but see, that's going to be temporary for you. Me, I'm a burn victim, as I've been hearing a lot on the Double Toaster shows.
Since you've been calling wrestling, I'm gonna quote wrestling on your ass now. You're just like Kane. You think you're a burn victim, then we take off the mask. You just a dude with some like bullshit charcoal on his face.
Yeah, and I'll wipe it off after 1 week of storyline development. But the thing is, though, God, the wrestling is just really kind of By the way, I love the community too. Just like how all the wrestling fans are kind of coming out of the fucking closet now. Like, I like wrestling too. Like, yes, you can like wrestling too. Just don't watch the fucking show tomorrow because I'm gonna shit on wrestling for hours. Anyways, rules. I will read them. Unless, Ganja, are you okay to read them?
I'm back, sir. Allergies can't keep me down from sharing these lovely rules with y'all. For example, rule number 1, newcomers join the call first. We're all about those new, fresh smelling faces. If I can smell them now, because I can't, because my nose is clogged like a motherfucker. So hit me, Allie, or Alan in the PM box so we get you on the show. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other. It's just plainly rude, and if you're not hitting a bong, it just doesn't sound right. So, guys, keep that in mind. Do not talk over each other because it ruins audio quality for later viewing. Rule number 3, please no nudity. This one's kind of self-explanatory. The titty is not wanted on YouTube. I don't know why. They have something against the titty and the nipple. But Pornhub is your friend for that. So rule number 3, please no nudity. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else a link. That includes motherfuckers we're not expected to come on the show or people that you consider your friends that want to back you up in a conversation. We don't give a damn. Because we don't suspect them to come on, we kick you and their asses out. Rule number 5, read the rules. And Alley Girl, because I hope your mommy is there.
Nope, she's not. Don't be a dick.
Yes!
Oh, fuck that shit. No, that was bad. No, don't be a dick. No, I want a big dick.
No, I know what you want, Nick. You want that Christina Aguilera shit. Sing it, girl!
I don't feel like singing today.
Oh, dude, I was all ready to. I was like, yeah. Oh. No,
Well, what's your job got you held down, girl? You feeling sad?
Yo.
What's troubling you?
I went on a tangent about my freaking job to these guys, like,
And it was
right
glorious.
before the show. I went off. Like, I was so frustrated today. I could not get a single sale. Kept having people just looking.
Just looking.
Just looking.
So here's the thing, and people, you guys can respond in the chat in this sense because me and Alan were really trying to like help out Allie here because she does not like when people just go in there and just stall the whole fucking time, not buying shit from the store and not knowing what to do in the store. Me, I actually go into that situation where I don't want to be bothered by like fucking employees trying to upsell me on shit. And honestly, like sometimes I am just looking. Like Alan, what do you feel about the situation?
Yeah, sometimes motherfuckers are just looking to kill time. Like, sometimes if I'm in a mall, I'll just, like, not a clothes store, for instance, but I'll walk into a GameStop just because I want to, browse because I have 10, 15 minutes to kill. People do that. People just off to chill. Like, I work at a cashier job as well, and sometimes people are just kind of looking, and I have it as my job is I just kind of wait around until they need help. I just make myself available. But I can see how Allie can get bothered if the whole day, motherfuckers are just looking around.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure Allie understands. We're just trying to put her on pressure.
I get that because, like, I'm kind of the same way, too, when I'm, off the clock. But it's those people that need help and is trying to find something specific. And you keep going back because they're like literally looking in the cubbies and everything, trying to find their size. And like, oh, do you need help finding your size? Oh, no, I'm fine, just looking. I'm like, no, you're obviously looking for something. Like, I could tell you're looking for something. Like, oh my God, this woman, this reminds me of this time. This woman came in here and her name was Allie, like me too. I remember her. And she was like looking around. She kept looking at the cropped bootcut jeans. So it's like, okay, she definitely wants some cropped bootcut jeans, right? So I'm like, oh, you're looking at the cropped bootcut. Can I help you find a size? Are you looking for a particular color? She's like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm like, okay. She kept going back to it. She kept searching and searching, kept going back. And then finally she picked up, okay, I think I want to try these. I'm like, yo, like, I couldn't help you. And then, like, afterwards, she's in the fitting room. She's like, oh, hey, I think I need this size. Or, like, now she's, like, asking for my help. All this stuff afterwards. I'm like, yo, maybe if, like, you let me help you out front, it would, like, I don't know, help you in the fitting room more. I don't know, but no, she just refused. And that, it wasn't just me. It was my other coworkers. They were trying to help her, too. And she was like, oh, no, I'm just looking. And then, of course, afterwards, after all that, she finally picks up something. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
that easily could have been like my fucking sale. God damn it! Like I
that could have saved her. No, that was still my sale. She didn't end up buying. First off, which I was really mad about. But no, all that could have been avoided. All that could have been avoided. She spent literally like 20 minutes in that store looking for the crop boot cut. I could have literally been like, oh, it's right here. oh, okay.
Oh.
And then she goes in the fitting room and that's it. Like, she kept looking around like, yo, if you just let me help you and like point you in the right direction, could have saved you a ton of time. I'm just saying.
I like how she mentioned her coworkers, but she's dancing around the story she told us, where apparently her coworkers and her have this little game where they make fun of all the other customers that come in. And apparently, Allie, I guess your store is an international store, so you have a lot of people that come from out of town to go shop there.
Oh, a lot of foreigners. Yeah.
So y'all motherfuckers are just using racial humor to justify people not getting sales from you now in the back room and shit?
Gotcha, why you do this to me? Okay, I should put a disclaimer that actually is my coworker that came up with this,
It's
and
her
she
friend.
is Cuban. She's Cuban. She speaks Spanish and everything. And then she's the one that's like, oh, they were just looking. Like, she's the one that started, okay? I did it. But it just became such, like, a freaking thing that happened so often in our store. We'd have people come in, and it didn't matter where they were from in the world either. Like, they all had the same exact freaking accent. Just looking. Like, why do you all sound like you're from, like, you know, Mexico, Spain, or, like, Portugal? Not Portugal, but, like, you know, like Spanish-speaking country. Or, like, a Portuguese-speaking country. Like, why? Like, you're from freaking, like, Japan. Why do you sound like that? Like,
I just looking, man. I just
just
looking.
looking. Like, it's so often. It's so often that we just had to do something to keep ourselves sane. Because it's so sometimes it's just miserable being in that store because it's so small. And so, like, we get a lot of times we just don't get the traffic like a Gap gets or an H&M or Forever 21. We don't get that type of traffic. So
Or
every
Claire's.
single person that freaking comes in counts. So, like, we have to do something to keep ourselves, like, in a good mood.
No,
It's
and the thing is,
ridiculous.
Making fun of customers. is
hey,
the
that's
best
what
way
I
to
do
put it.
too. And the thing that's funniest too is like me being the racially fucking asshole that I am. Like Allie goes like, you know, like they're just looking, and right away I'm thinking like Asian. Like I got the chopsticks ready and shit. Like just
Oh,
oh, you're just looking, huh? Like I'm fucking like I'm sorry, but like hey,
fuck you, Cedric.
Dude, say that, man. He does that to everybody. He'll bring up he'll tell stories that I told him like a week ago. He'll bring up details that I forgot. I was like, how the fuck did you know that?
Oh, shorty, it's your birthday. We're gonna party.
Man,
it's your
shut the
birthday.
fuck up.
Oh my god! Seriously, Josh. Like, Josh making fun of my freaking bangs. Like,
no, he's just talking shit. Like Josh
oh
wants
my
to.
god!
Josh just thinks you're cute, and
nothing
he's just
about
gonna
you
start
people
throwing
making fun
spitballs
of
at you. It's one of those little schoolgirls crushes.
It's funny, dude. I swear to God,
You know
Josh
what?
is the
Like,
equivalent.
here's a little bit of a note. When you make fun of someone, they don't want to be with you.
Oh, never
Sorry.
gonna get it. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Don't like
whoop.
feel like crap.
I mean, he already killed it. Did you have to like destroy?
Let's go. Hurry
Nah,
up.
man, I'm in a terrible mood today. Like, don't freaking customers, just looking. Like,
Allie's gonna start yelling at them.
come into this
Hurry
freaking
up and
store, mess up all of our freaking jeans, and not even freaking ask for help. Like, why?
buy. Hurry up and buy. Fuck looking. Hurry up and buy.
Dude, it's hilarious because like she's actually like doing the black girl clap. I've never seen you do that before. Like, it's
No,
awesome.
Like, I get all black when I get freaking mad sometimes. I'm like, no, you did not just do that.
You motherfucker! No, that shit. Fucking gotcha. I'm sorry, dude. I can't get over the fact that you're so fucking high right now.
Hey man, leave me alone. We're talking about Allie right now. Hey, I'm talking. You guys can understand me. Those rules were, I think, intelligible.
We're what? You want to repeat that?
Don't throw me on the spot right now, motherfuckers.
Hey, he's trying to
Bitch,
build
you did that to Allie like a minute ago.
Yeah, but fuck you, Alan.
You know what's great, dude? Alan, like right now, he was trying to actually build this XP multiple, whatever the fuck, this multiplier. Like it was like a combo. Fucking, it was
No, it
ridiculous.
was more like a quick time event, and I missed the X right at the right moment.
Oh man, dude, yeah, you guys are some interesting people. Anyway, Alan, we're gonna be having to control these two motherfuckers. God damn. One thing though, I will say, just so I can get into something really quick, because I ain't got no goddamn story, but I got something to bitch about once again, and it's. I know people are gonna be like, dude, once again with the nitpicks and the whole thing, always saying the same shit over and over again. I know it's like Groundhog Day with me. But fucking Shazam, director confirms 2019 release date. Why? Who gives a fuck about Shazam?
Okay,
Ooh.
so this is,
Why'd you say it like that?
no, he has a point. Like it's one of those things where I'm not really sure why. Shazam seems like somebody that you put in, in the movie later, like something like a Vision or one of those other characters where it's like you don't need a standalone film. You introduce them over the course of a movie. Because the thing is, Shazam is an interesting kind of character that you could probably do a lot with, not in his own movie, but if anyone's ever watched Young Justice, they have this really interesting episode with Shazam where it's like he's a 10-year-old kid, but he has the powers of a god. So when he activates his powers as Shazam, he becomes like almost like to the same level, same power of Superman. Yeah, he's basically the god of thunder, like in the DC universe, and he's crazy powerful, but he has kind of the mind of a 10-year-old. So it's kind of an interesting thing to do with that. But as a standalone movie, I don't really know how he'd even fit in the DCU at all. It seems like they're just like, I guess, why not? Let's just have him in here. And it just kind of feels like a random, like, who thought this was an idea that anyone would be mildly interested in?
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, Shazam has been a character in DC Comics forever. Which
So,
You mean
Speaking
Captain
of White Lightning,
Marvel?
what's up, Justin?
hey, yeah. Well, as the white man representing the white character here, but
Man,
I'm
you
just
don't
saying,
know
like-
how bad we need that nowadays.
oh boy. But just saying that Shazam. I mean, for one thing, it's an interesting sell. The idea that he is technically a child who can transform into an adult character.
Yeah.
The power of the magic kind of thing. So that's a unique storytelling device that you could tell in a new movie.
sure.
But it is the problem too that, like you said, Shazam's not top tier. I mean, people remember him because
Bottom
he's
tier.
Captain Marvel or Marvel Man. Which one was it, Ali?
Okay,
Remember?
Captain
okay.
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel. That's why they changed it because of Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe.
Actually, no. The original
afterwards.
story behind that is his name was always Shazam, but they called him Captain Marvel in respect to Marvel comics. Because even though they're rivals, they had a friendly rivalry, so that's why they called him Captain Marvel. They just changed that after the fact because eventually, there's a lot of
That's
bad
not the
blood.
story I've heard. But
That's a
okay.
story I've heard a lot of times.
Well,
Like,
'cause
I've
I'm
heard a
pretty
lot of
sure
different
Captain
people.
Marvel came first, but who knows?
I know that I heard that they changed the name or that they kept the name because it was out of respect for Marvel, but then they changed it because
Yeah, I mean,
others. You can go back.
They
and
could have
forth.
kept the name. But
Yeah.
yeah. And what I heard too, because the main villain is Black Adam. If I remember, he's in the movie or not, but it's going to be Dwayne Johnson playing him. So
Is that still
Yeah.
confirmed?
Samoan Adam.
Samoan out?
Samoan Adam. I mean, to be fair, Black Adam's always been brownish. I mean, I think he's portrayed as Egyptian in.
Yeah, he's Egyptian.
And in Justice 2, yeah.
Yeah, so why not? I mean, apparently, again, this is one of those things with Hollywood that I don't like. That if you're brown in any form or tan, I mean, some shade, you can play any character. You can play South American. You can play Middle Eastern.
Wait, what did
Like,
you say? Wait, he says, "Man, if you're brown, I hate that you can play any character." It's like
No.
brown
I
people
didn't
should
say
not be
I
able to
hate
play.
that. I said, like, okay, here's the thing. For me, from my background, I've told before that I'm Armenian background. So there was that movie that came out, The Promise, that came out a while back. And who did they cast to play an Armenian character? A Guatemalan actor. Just as like, he looks close enough, It's like that's one thing I'm like, okay, so I don't know, but
Man,
anyway,
I get that he should be played by somebody from the origin of the character, but man, The Rock looks exactly like Black Adam from the comics. Like
that's why they
almost
cast him. 'Cause
exactly the same.
Yeah, they wanted a big hulking dude who at least. The problem is though, I can't imagine Dwayne Johnson is menacing, which I've heard they want to
Yeah,
try.
well, you clearly never saw the Doom movie.
We clearly never watched WWE. Just been tying
No,
that
That's
guy.
the wrong
I
day,
know.
wrong day.
Maybe that's why he wanted to take this character, like to show he has more range than what he's been
Yeah,
I
given.
guess so.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I'm
Yeah,
looking
because
over
they're
here.
currently.
I mean,
Go
they,
ahead.
they do look similar and everything too. But I mean, like, yeah, I feel like The Rock can be a menacing dude. I mean, him being a big guy and everything too. You have to realize that The Rock has completely avoided, like, well, not completely because it's Fast and Furious, but he somewhat avoided like typecasting in a way. Because looking at The Rock, you would think like he's just big, bulky, like I'm just gonna fuck people up, like I'm the bad guy. He's always a hero. He's always kind of like. He's way too charismatic for what he looks like. For one, I'm just like, wow, this motherfucker can like sing and
Man,
dance.
he does a
and
lot of
is
stuff.
gay
Like
and-
on television, he plays a sports agent. Like he
Yeah.
has a lot of.
Yeah. Okay. Sing. He can hit to melody well. He can't sing really.
Okay,
Like in
come,
Moana.
man,
Wait,
motherfuckers
what
are
the
so-
fuck? that's yeah.
I saw Moana. He can sing.
Well, and the biggest thing too is he can sing better than me, and like the main thing I want to say too. I mean, okay, I can hold the note, motherfucker, just never in front of y'all.
And so can Dwayne Johnson.
No, but like I feel like there's a talent in that though. I think that like when you're a
He's
dude
good.
who works out all the time, like that's kind of impressive. And then like just him being able to voice act in general, like I mean it's an animated fucking movie, and I gave a shit about the character at least
No,
somewhat.
voice acting, he was great. He was great in Moana as a voice actor. And I'm not
He
saying
did
he's
everything well, yeah.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like again, the thing with Dwayne Johnson too is like, who would you cast as Shazam? Because apparently they're in casting calls right now.
I actually kind of want John Cena because he looks like a 12-year-old kid that's grown up to a man. Like he literally looks like his face is 12 years old and
Can
his
he
body.
act? Can
Oh,
he act?
No.
Apparently, but the thing is, he doesn't necessarily have to act like he just kind of has to act like a 12-year-old kid, and just for the kid, just get somebody from Stranger Things. Apparently, they're hiring everybody that's old.
No, give the with the missing teeth from Stranger Things. I would love to see.
Okay. You know who the kid version could be? That kid from Insidious and Jurassic World.
Oh
No.
fuck you! I hate
No.
that kid.
No, that kid in Jurassic World annoyed the crap
Dude,
out
No,
of me.
yeah, but
Alan,
I'm saying
John
like,
Cena's like
Movie
right there is where
recently.
he fucked up.
I
Like,
would prefer the kid from It, like the one that had the geeky glasses doing it, because he seems like to be kind of like one of those nerdy kids that turns into Shazam.
yeah, I
Finn
think
Wolfhard?
kind of looks similar, I guess.
Or whatever. The one that's from Stranger Things too, right?
No, the one from It. I don't know.
No,
man.
the crazy kid
The
that
one
was
with the glasses, you said.
Yeah, the glasses.
Yeah, that is the
No.
kid from Stranger Things.
Well, I
Unless
never
there's
watched Stranger
another kid
Things.
with glasses.
Oh, you never watched Stranger Things?
Nope.
Damn, that's a big like right
Well,
behind.
yeah, he's probably who you're thinking.
That's kind of
Okay.
actually who I meant because I'm just like I can almost see him as a younger version of John Cena, like a little bit.
yeah.
No.
Okay, so I got a question about they're posting Shaq Shazam. I got a question. Is
Kazam.
that the same character in
No,
the
that's
DC
Kazam.
comics, or
No,
is that something
not
different?
even close.
No,
Okay,
that's
because that was
Kazam.
always confusing.
Yeah,
no.
it's with a K, Kazam.
Yeah, the big
Oh,
difference really
there's
is
different spellings.
yeah, no, and like that he's a rapping genie back in the 90s that came out with fucking stereo. And then the main thing too is really good is that he's a rapper. One of his best rhymes is fucking green egg and ham it like like it
No,
was,
dude, that would be the best. Having the kid from Stranger Things turn into Shaquille O'Neal. Just
oh man.
Oh my god.
I
No,
would give
hilarious.
so much money to watch the controversy from that shit.
but one thing I want to say actually really quick too though, I wanted to bring this up because Julian actually brought this up in the chat, and I'll scroll up or whatever the fuck, but he knows what I'm talking about. But Julian
Scroll
said
up,
something
scroll up,
about
scroll up, scroll
no
up.
no
Oh,
fuck
any
that
movie-
fuck that.
Any character can. His statement was any character can get their own movie, to which
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I think characters like Batman and Superman, like top tier, and even some lower tiers like B and even C. But I think there's certain people that work better in ensemble. Wolverine works better as an ensemble like cast. The Hulk.
Logan did pretty well, didn't it?
Logan was okay, but he was still sharing the screen time with two other people.
But one thing I
Yeah,
want to
but
bring up really quick.
the name was like the movie was named
Yeah,
Logan.
I know, but like as far as like Solo, like he was still like he was co-starring with a bunch of other people. Like I
well,
feel
by that definition, no one ever solos a film. You have to have other supporting actors to bounce off of. I mean, I think it depends on how much they headline, because it's like Logan, he's in an ensemble, but the story's always about Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman is the leading force in that story.
But rather
Yeah,
than
but I-
rather than actors,
Compared
I
to
think,
like
too,
the
'cause-
Avengers, where you have like a bunch of like main characters, it's
Yeah.
different. It's different. Like that's an ensemble. Logan
Sure.
is much more like Wolverine is the main character.
Okay,
Yeah, like
I guess
that's
let's
what
go with something
we're
like the
following
Hulk then. The Hulk even because he works better in an ensemble. Works better when you can bounce off of other people or try to get him to be either a center of conflict or a center of discussion. I don't think that every hero can support their own movie because we see a lot of times where they would work better. Like Ghost Rider worked better on television in Agents of
Yes.
Shield than I feel like he ever worked in the movies. And I don't hate those movies. Those movies are hilariously bad, but they're not good
Wait.
movies.
You don't hate those movies?
I'm sorry, man. I can't hate that first one. It is so fucking funny.
That movie is so freaking boring. How do you find enjoyment?
I had fun with it, man. They're cool shit in there. Shut up.
But one thing I wanted to bring up though, because cause we're talking about actors and things like that too. But like one thing that I wanted to bring up really quick is a question. We never really do these community questions anymore. But I was actually wondering, where do you personally draw the lines as far as cinematic superhero adaptations? Like, which superhero would make you lose hope in comic book movie adaptations in general? Because for me, this is where I would cross the line. Like, the fact that they're making a Shazam movie makes me go, you know what, dude? Like, I can't be optimistic anymore about comic book movies. Like, it's fucking Shazam. This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Shazam is not even the worst. Yeah, he's not even the worst superhero that you could adapt a movie into.
Yeah,
Trust me.
MODOK.
Who the what? Who the fuck is that?
If they ever do that, I'm done with reality. Fuck
I swear to God, I thought he said Murdoch. I was like, what do gorillas have to do with it?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like if you look it up, it's this weird, like almost head in a jar thing that can float and sits down, and it's an acronym for some bullshit like machine designed exclusively to kill or
Is he a hero?
something.
I thought he was a villain.
Whatever. Yeah, sorry, I meant a villain. But like his name is an acronym for something about designed exclusively to kill or to kill like really efficiently. That's his whole gimmick.
Are you fucking kidding? I'm
so-
looking at this right now.
Yeah, this is a character in comics. This is a thing.
God.
This is why I can't stand people who. I mean, like, okay, change that. Name.
Okay.
I
So,
like people
Nick,
who like.
Shazam was pretty good compared to that. I'm just
The
saying.
thing is, he's one of those villains that for some reason stayed around, but he's one of those villains designed to be like, he's in one issue to get beat up by the hero, and then they never talk about it again. But for some reason, he keeps getting brought up and shit, and I don't understand why.
Man, I'm looking at chat too. Fucking Jack's Play posted this picture of him. I don't know which one's worse. I mean, at least this one has the cartoony aspect of it, but the one that Jack's Play put up.
Dude, I swear to God, that looks like from Ninja Turtles, man.
Yeah, it looks like that.
The
Fucking,
Krang aliens or whatever they're called.
yeah, man, I cannot remember. Fucking yeah, but it's just like this is the reason why I can't like. These are supposed to be villains. These are supposed to be characters that are in these like very big, huge, worldly fucking comic books. Who the fuck decided to make a character a fucking head? What?
It's again. Sometimes what they do with villains is they do some random weird monster thing for 1 or 2 issues for the hero to kind of be. He's what do you call them in what do you fucking call them in wrestling when they're just there to get their ass handed to his jobs? Or
Jobbers, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was. That's essentially what his thing was. Like sometimes they do that like random monster thing just so the hero looks cool. For some reason, he's just stuck around.
Man,
Yeah.
he stuck around so much that I remember when I was in middle school, or I think it was like early high school, that he was in a kid cartoon that used to come around like 8 or 9 Marvel superhero friends or some shit. And he was one of the main villains right next to Doctor Doom and shit. So he's like constantly put up with like AAA casting.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Mood Hawk. I'm sorry. I'm just lost in that. Like I know we're.
Stand for again because that bothers me. That fucking.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad. But I'm gonna say that one was yours. Ganja Guru. What's a superhero? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, a superhero that they can make that I would consider crossing the line. They kind of did it with the fucking Amazing Spider-Man series, and just made him into just a mainstream hip teenage kid to the point that he incorporated skateboarding into his repertoire as Spider-Man. So I was like, fuck that series from the beginning, and fuck Andrew Garfield with his British ass. But I digress. But like when it comes to like stuff that I would consider like them really pushing the boundaries, if they start coming up with like 4th or 5th tier heroes or villains to make movies out of, like some motherfucker like Mosquito Man, or like I think they have a hero that is literally just made out of chocolate. I forget who it is.
Fuck?
It's either DC, Marvel, or one of the like 3rd tier comic book companies actually has a hero that commands the world of chocolate.
Okay, dude. Okay, really quick. Wait, Ganja, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all.
Nick would like that because it's like chocolate. Oh my god!
Chocolate man, what?
You look up chocolate. Jesus.
All right,
Okay, Nick.
Hold on,
Chocolate Man comics. Don't just go with
You might
Chocolate
wanna
Man.
watch out before there's porn.
I got a question, Nick. Hold on
Yeah,
a second.
seriously.
Why are we logged into Danielle's Gmail account, man?
Oh.
You have to mute Ganja's mic for the rest of the fucking show.
I'm sorry, but man, I just found a new rabbit hole. This is fucking hilarious.
All right, all right, I want to go back up.
That's Jack's plate over there.
That's hold on, scroll up.
Wait, scroll up. Okay.
Scroll up past Jack's looking motherfucker. Scroll up.
Yeah.
The dude with the Hershey Kiss shit with the do-rag, man. That's what I imagine Milo does to attract his bitches.
Oh no.
Oh, what?
Wait, what?
Which one?
No,
Y'all
this one.
y'all not see him.
Oh, Jesus
that guy.
Christ.
What
Oh,
the fuck am I looking at?
Hey, man,
Lord.
that's what we call a triple chocolate fudge cake, all right?
Oh, jeez.
And Justin's just like, man, 'cause that takes you back.
Back to his missionary days.
Hey, man, you didn't see us during our days off, you know? We just get to a little bored, we get some chocolate. We're not going to go.
Wait,
I don't need to hear this
Yo.
at all.
I know, you don't. You won't.
wait, look in the fucking chat.
Yeah,
And then and then fucking JP goes, "I cream."
What? What? Hold on, sir. I support gay thoughts, but I'm very confused about you right now.
Wow,
Oh,
hey JP, I didn't know you were like that, dude. My bad. That's not even funny. I'm sorry, y'all. Like fucking Chocolate Man comics. Yeah, I can't wait.
man,
I can't wait for him to
pretty sure
take on
that's
Batman.
that
It's
explains
but I'm
it.
pretty sure that's not his name.
Wait, who? Chocolate Man?
I'm pretty sure that's not his name.
Well, no, like it's like Bruce Wayne. Like, you know what I mean? Like he had like two different identities.
Okay, I got a hero that they should never make a movie of.
What's up?
Because I had to be some of the worst superheroes ever. And you know what? I actually don't subscribe to the idea that you can't make a good superhero movie out of nothing. Because, you know, really tacky or lame superheroes or supervillains have been readapted or resurrected into cooler characters. You know, if you look at the histories of comics, you know, even say Squirrel Girl. You know, Squirrel Girl is a one-note gimmick. And I know, Alan, you don't like Squirrel Girl very much.
No, it's because no one will shut the fuck up about Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
They just keep
And
talking about
I understand that. But the reason why is because Squirrel Girl was a gimmick character at first, and then they found a way to make a personality around her and actually write stuff that's, you know, worthwhile in comic storylines. It's like, okay, you take this character who's a really stupid character and did something useful out of it. So it's possible to make a good movie, but I will say this is going to have potential to put some really bad searches as well on your thing. Look up Marvel Leatherman Hero.
Oh,
man.
what? Does he have the power
There's
of
a
leather or
character.
some bullshit?
Yes, he is a BDSM superhero. That is actually a thing they tried to do back when BDSM was becoming
So
popular.
Hey,
leather
it's
and
a
chocolate,
creator.
man. This is gonna be a great video to tag later, Nick.
Man, no, but
Yes,
I'm like,
indeed.
Yeah, what are we tagging this? Chocolate Man and BDSM?
I'm trying to find this shit. Oh my god. Okay, I think this is it. The West Coast Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
I don't know if that the picture's there. I have a link here I can send you with his because
Yeah, go and put it in the DT chat actually, because I'm curious.
yeah,
as fuck.
I looked up a list of the top 20 war superheroes, and I just got reminded. It's like, oh yeah, that was a thing. That Leatherman.
So- as far as this discussion is concerned, like, when I say that the movie should never be done about a lot of this shit, I don't mean you should never try to adapt. What I mean is they shouldn't have standalone movies. If you want to do something like on television, like I love Young Justice, and I love Young Justice because they take a bunch of BC level heroes and a bunch of like almost DZ level villains, and they make them
they made
interesting.
Sportsmaster interesting.
Dude,
Yeah.
Sportsmaster's entire gimmick is he's good at sports. That's it. He's good at sports, but he is like a major villain, and he's really well done. Like in Young Justice, because they give him enough screen time, they able to tie it together. What the
What
fuck am I looking?
Just want to put that up there. That is Leatherman. The man that
Dude, that
Justin...
reminds me of South Park.
Oh God! Why? Wait, actually, explain that
It's
to
Mr. Slave. Yeah.
Oh my god. Had it, everything.
Oh my god!
Do not look that up.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm good. But no, but like, continue on your point though. I just wanted to show just her visual reference, Justin.
Man, I was about to bring that up too, Jax. I was about to bring up Matter Eating Lad.
What?
Oh yeah. That
He's a
guy.
DC hero that can eat anything.
Why?
That's his power. He can eat and
Dude,
him
okay,
and
you
Maggot
gotta
have the same
understand is
powers.
comics were made. A lot of these characters were made in like the 1950s. So when Batman and Superman came out, it was like the revelation, like the greatest thing that's ever happened. And they were like, we need superheroes about anything. So that's why they came up with the Flash and Thor. And then some motherfuckers are like, let's just have them eat through anything. Matter Lad, like. People were just coming up with whatever they could think of, and some of these stuck for some reason, and others didn't.
And remember too that there was a time in the comics code where you couldn't introduce villains who were like really violent or have really violent storylines or really
Oh
sexual
yeah, you
storylines.
couldn't even win. Like that was straight up a rule of the bad guys were never allowed to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to come up with stuff. Like there was a time when Batman couldn't even fight villains properly. He had to like do these crazy like acid trip adventures. Where that's when we got the Batman of Zur and R as a thing, which they referenced in later comic books.
They
But,
couldn't use zombies in comics. They had to call them Zimbambos.
What?
See,
Yeah, there was a while they couldn't use the word. They couldn't use the word zombies.
That looks so suggestive.
God damn, man. I gotta tell you though, man. Like,
Rambos.
this shit is not.
Our Fallout Boy. What?
Oh
All right,
no.
I got a question.
jeez.
When you got this community question, I got a question for this community question, Nick. When you got this bitch in the fucking email on the Facebook page or wherever you got this motherfucker, did you think we were going to talk about BDSM Hero, Chocolate Man, and whatever the fuck this motherfucker
Or
bunch of
Arm Fallout Boy.
Boy.
man?
Someone,
Arm
please,
Fallout
I
Boy.
want
I'm trying to avoid that one.
Hey, how about
Somebody-
late Panic at the Disco?
Someone legitimately explained to me what the fuck his useful and powers are. What the hell does he do?
You know what? Actually, let's do this
He
right
throws
now.
arm at people.
Arm Fallout Boy. I'm gonna put it like this so y'all
What?
can see.
We're doing live
No,
Wikipedia
I'm
search,
sorry.
folks.
We could go down a rabbit hole with all the stupid villains and heroes out there that could, if they cross the line, to make a standalone movie. Like, you think of the villains, Calendar Man and Polka Dot.
Okay, Calendar Man is my favorite stupid villain because he's constantly in every fucking Arkham game.
Yes, he is. Yes,
He is in like he's
Oh,
the most
yeah.
prevalent villain, and I don't know why.
I read the graphic novel that was all about him.
Why?
well, it was a good. It was
Oh,
a
the
good
bouncy
graphic
boy.
novel.
Oh,
Long Halloween.
Wait.
It's actually good.
Oh,
oh,
was it? Okay, that's interesting.
I'm judging you so hard.
Wait.
Right now.
Marvel?
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay,
actually
so,
good.
okay, but there's
All
like
right,
okay,
this
Miss Marvel
is right up there
is
with
like
you buying the DVD for Suicide Squad. This is Shark 2.
Hey! The Long
Wait.
Halloween is a really good graphic novel.
wait. You
no,
want
Long
the
Halloween
DVD
is
for
good, but
Suicide
that's
Squad?
not
Why?
Calendar Man.
He's
That's
in
not
it.
Calendar Man. Okay, he's in it, but yeah.
You're right.
That's
Calendar
not
Man
about
is Suicide Squad too.
God,
That's the
man.
most I've read of him.
But I gotta say though, dude. Looking at this fucking Calendar Man thing, like I'm gonna show it
What
up
does
right
he
here.
look like? I've never seen. What the hell?
See, he looks cool right there,
That's
but
the version from Arkham. That's the Arkham version.
yeah, but the thing I can't help but
Oh,
think
I've never actually seen him.
he looks like
Allie,
he
you
looks
always
like
want to see my forehead? That's what my forehead looks like.
Okay,
No,
the
I
calculator.
still want to see it.
This is
Oh
great.
man, no, but this motherfucker though, like seriously though, he looks like that fucking Pokemon Execute. Like,
Oh,
like if he just grew up, like man, dude.
He reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Fuck you!
Aw.
Oh, you son of a
you just
bitch!
assaulted his Jesus Christ. You know that, right?
I know that,
Yeah, don't you fuck with Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. No, I'm
but
gonna.
again, like it's one of
You
those
drink
things.
beers for your sin.
It's one of those things where I feel like on television when you have a chance to kind of work. Not obviously, there's some characters you can't even do anything. But if I told you, hey, there's this kind of this kid that can just kind of do electricity kind of stuff, you'd be like, what can I really do? Then you have Static Shock. Like, you could do it well if you put the time. And I don't feel like a movie is a good time to explain some of these really, really stupid powers. Like, I don't think you could do. I do not think you could do Teen Titans as a movie. I think you have to do it as a television show.
Yeah.
Go to the double toasted chat room.
Yeah.
Quickly, scroll
you're
down.
looking at that
There-
new dungeon.
there's a superhero that
Oh, yeah.
reminds me of a little Nick right now, and I wonder if you can guess who I'm talking about, Nick.
Oh no!
I remember this.
Wait,
Go
what?
up.
Go
on.
to Dijon. El Guapo.
Right above
that-
Covenant
Oh,
Man there.
What the hell's his power?
Oh, fuck
Skateboarding,
you!
son, and being extremely Mexican.
Oh my god!
Orale!
So that's the movie we saw in Amazing Spider-Man. Okay.
Dude, yeah, the calculator. What the fuck?
Hey, man,
Yes,
I
there was-
used him.
Calculator?
Hey,
Okay, I
G shit
confused
though. I could have used it in math class though. That could have been
Dude,
helpful.
I confused the
for sure.
calculator for the Taskmaster.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man,
dude.
I have some.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. What is yours?
well, these aren't superheroes, but they're villains. One from Batman. What was it? The Creeper.
Hey, the Creeper is cool compared to these guys. He's too cool for these people.
Yeah.
No, but sure. And then I never, ever in a Superman movie ever want to see Mr. McSpitlick.
Okay,
Ever as a villain.
okay.
No,
So, funny-
I
okay.
love Mr.
No, he is
Okay, whoa.
stupid.
Allie, first of all, you're right. Justin, you're wrong, and you're all wrong because they did use it in Supergirl.
Hold on, I got a question.
No, that doesn't count in the movies.
Isn't that the elf dude that's a ripoff from that fucking green Martian from Flintstones?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
basically Great Gazoo. Yeah.
It is. I like that is such a dumb villain, but they actually have him in Mr.
Man, I'll sue a motherfucker.
Dude, I cannot pronounce that fucking Mr. Mistiplex.
Mr. McSpitlick.
No, in Superman the animated series, it's Spitlick. That's how you say it.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how you're
Okay.
looking at this shit so you can sound it out right now. You fucking cheater.
No.
Miss.
This is different.
I'm
but
looking at it. I can't pronounce it.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
think in Superman the animated series, there's an episode all about Mr. McYespitlick, and that was one of the episodes of the whole show because it's Gilbert Godfrey voicing him. And
No, of course it is.
I kind of agree, Allie, that maybe I wouldn't want to see him in a movie per se.
But like I
Especially
said,
with
they
Henry
did it in
Cavill, like
Supergirl.
Zider Universe. Zider. I just
What's
mixed
this,
their names
I'm looking at
Sex
Jared Jackson. Do you guys know the this guy's name? Because they say they call him a yellow skinned wacky man. I highly doubt that's
That's the
his actual
Creeper.
name. Okay, fuck this guy. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Wait, is that from Batman the Animated Television Show?
No, that's from the Brave and the Bold, I think.
Oh, okay.
No, that's Freakazoid when you get
Every
off all
single
that.
time
bullshit.
Well, they have him in the animated series too.
Every time Allie talks about the Creeper, all I can think of is the Lonely Island song, "The Creep."
No, every time Allie brings
I
up the
think
creeper,
Scooby Doo.
every
Man,
time
I
See, that's
remember-
the animated series.
Yeah, that's not Brave and the Bold.
Oh, it is?
That is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Brave and the Bold had a
Oh,
weird
gosh.
art style.
no, it's so
Mhm,
funny
yeah.
though. Like, and you're saying that you think that when she says a creeper, every time she says a creeper, I think of fucking porno Chris. So it's like, oh, like I want to see him in a DC movie.
But again,
He's already
a
dead.
lot of these
Nick.
times there are these bunch of Z tier, almost like less than Z tier, like heroes and villains that are really were designed as a one note, one shot, just to beat the crap, just to have something. Because you gotta remember, is these things came out daily and weekly, in some cases daily. So they are constantly like, who the fuck can we come up with just to keep filling up? Because this was a very popular commodity at the time, and hell, even so.
Oh,
more
so
now.
it's the Pokemon model. Just like whatever's in the office that we can think of an animal or an item, we'll just make it up as we
Oh
go.
yeah. They they'll just throw it on the wall, like just put man at the end of every fucking male hero. Like that was a
And I
thing
can't
for a
even
long
bitch.
fucking time.
And I can't even bitch about that because they did that shit with Transformers too. Like they're turning, like they literally have a spot where one of the main characters is a cassette tape that you put into a fucking stereo, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, motherfucker. Like,
the heroes that stick are the ones they could do interesting things with. Like if I told you, oh man, this guy he dresses up like a bat and he throws like these weird bat like boomerangs around. You're like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. He's currently the most popular hero of all time. Like you can make it work, but a lot of these characters just fell by the wayside, and they only get brought up in top 10 worst or unheard of fucking heroes.
now the thing is though, and I mean we can talk about this all day, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on and everything because one thing that I am excited about, because I mean I'm taking the big old shit on Shazam because I don't like the shit. But what? Thank you for the noise.
I've been playing a lot of South Park. I've been kind of in the 5th grade for a good 2 days.
Me too.
That's good. No, oh man, yeah, the Fractured Hole, hilarious.
He just plays South Park because when you die, you go to Mormon heaven.
No,
Lucky
I
bastard.
fucking hate South Park because fucking it's.
Oh
shitty.
man, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Mormons are
hey.
they're the correct religion in the
Turns
South
out,
Park
turns out the
universe.
Mormons were right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, you can actually be a Mormon in your character sheet on the new game, so that is actually a thing you can pick.
I might pick that up because of the gameplay is grid style and I like grid style, so I might pick that up just because of the
It's-
gameplay.
We'll get into that later. It's a fun
Yeah.
game. But
Yeah, you fucking nerds. Like, no,
I just wanted to share my character sheet with everybody so we can, do some LARPing later. I'm sorry, man.
Fuck
I
LARPing.
fucking- dude, I wanna
LARPing
LARP
is the
so
next
bad.
level, man. I'm sorry, but fuck LARPing.
I let you know right now, audience, the people listening, people in the car right now. When I did that voice, Nick probably had this large blood rust that just came from his body.
yeah.
Yes, blood rust.
Look,
I mean-
blood rush.
yeah, well,
Oh yeah, wait, I was
Blood.
agreeing with him.
Don't fuck up my joke with correcting grammar, bitch.
No, but
Why gotta
also
fucking speak? I wouldn't need to.
the thing
I
is, though,
can't speak to the state.
the thing that's funny though is like God just saying that, like people could have also thought like I got horny, like the way he says like he got a big blood rush, like oh man, dude just went right up to.
Nobody would think that.
I thought that about myself, and I looked down. I had to-
Nobody. Okay, allow me to correct. Nobody but you would think that.
Oh,
Well,
then, yeah.
somebody's got to think about his penis. If he doesn't
Yeah.
think about it, who will?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that sounded
no,
more
but
deep
I will
now.
agree with Skull too.
Yeah.
I want to see a Freakazoid. I want to see Freakazoid come back someday.
Freakazoid.
I love
runs
Freakazoid.
around in underwear. Freakazoid.
Oh, someone gift that shit. Oh my god.
Man, I used to watch that show all the time as a kid, and we recently watched it. We watched an episode for like a couple weeks ago. Man, that show is way too funny.
Nerdy ass,
Man.
nerdy ass. Dun, 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 nerdy
I
ass.
never liked Freakazoid. That was one of those shows that was the classic like WB shows that I could just never got to me, man.
It's one of those things. It's such a I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it, man. It's just
It's
weird and random. They make an
It's an
okay
acquired
joke in a kid show,
style.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, too, just in case you guys forgot, Trey Cooper's in there. He says, it's a wrestling reference. Ganja, you wouldn't know if you watched the Ringside Hangouts every Monday, Tuesday, and
I thought you were
sometimes
being cool, Trey, and saying praise the marijuana. I
Nah,
thought you were being cool.
God's too busy in the MCA, the best show ever.
Oh,
Damn right.
ooh, damn. Shots fired.
Fuck the ringside hangouts.
Yeah, no, but Dejan, of course, my other head, penis. But here's the thing, though. We'll start this off right. We just talked about some nerdy shit. Time for me to get nerdy, because I can't fucking stand Shazam. So I'm going to talk about something I do like. And check out this awesome little teaser trailer, fucking digital movie poster. It's The Predator, man. Yes.
It's the Predator or Frankenstein. Your
How
pick.
long did you practice to get that pause right? Oh no, that was part of the trailer.
Yeah, I got lucky.
I was about to give you credit like a motherfucker. I was like, damn, that was perfect.
Wait, Nick. To quote you, that's it? We waited all this time, and all we got was some fucking lightning bolt?
No. You know what this
kidding me?
means? This means the trailer is probably going to come out in another few weeks. You know,
Yeah.
they usually.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just fucking with Nick.
Okay. I'll fucking kill you.
That's the thing. Like, okay, so
You gotta help me.
I'm confused. Have they finally confirmed that this is a reboot, a sequel? Like, how does this
This
work?
is
Okay,
going to
so
take place
it is-
between Predator 2 and Predators. It's going to take in between, and it's going to be in LA, and
Mhm.
lots of Mexicans.
So it's just a sequel to Predator 2?
Yeah,
basically.
well, because actually, Jake Busey is playing Gary Busey's son in this movie. You know, so he's actually the literal son of Gary Busey is playing his character's son in the movie.
Yeah.
for this new
Nepotism.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this might come as a controversial opinion, but I actually like all the Predator movies. I don't think Predator 2 is bad. I actually
That's
like
a
Predator.
horrible fucking film. I hate that movie with a passion.
I had fun with it. Okay, Predator 1 is Commando. It is the same movie with the same plot. Just replace the fight with Bennett with a Predator. It is the same fucking movie.
You're only saying it because Arnold's in it, man. Come on.
It's the same movie.
I mean, Alan, you're not wrong, but I still like Predator. I mean,
No, Predator 1
it
is
is
great,
Commando.
but, like Predator
Yeah.
2 to me felt like a Predator movie because it's like, okay, we get to see kind of that the Predators have been around for a while. We get to see kind of a normal person fighting a Predator over the course of a city and actually get to know a lot of the lore that's going on and seeing that these aren't omniscient beings that regular people can actually fight them toe to toe. And once you actually fight a Predator and beat it, you get the respect of them. It shows that they're a strong warrior race, that they do this not because they're evil, but because they simply are looking for the best challenge. And I really like that in the movie. It gave me a lot of the world and I had a great time watching the movie.
But
and
Donald
Predator
Glover-
2 was the lead-in to Alien versus Predator because they established they hunt aliens in Predator 2. So,
Yeah, true. It was almost like the Freddy Krueger getting the hockey mask at the end of Jason Goes to Hell kind of situation. But the thing
And
is-
also, like, yeah, Predators. I like Predators as well. I think Predators is a really, really fun movie.
yeah, nah,
I don't see any of them. I like them all.
I mean, I'm so glad. I'm honestly like I'm glad that you like something that because I love the Predator character so much, and I actually like both AVP movies. Sorry if y'all.
I don't know how you like the second one.
yeah, how do you like the second one, Nick? Come on.
Because-
all right, I'm gonna defend you, Nick, and let me know if I'm right or wrong with this, because this is how I feel about AVP Requiem as well. It's all the best highlights of both the series.
Mhm.
So if you don't look at it seriously and just take it as a stupid fucking movie that it is, you will have a great time with it.
Absolutely, because the movie.
Yeah,
In
sorry, go.
entertainment value, that movie is like a 5 out of 5 better than Sex. It's fucking great. But if you look at the movie as like what a movie's supposed to be made and being creative, it's like a flat 0. Like there's nothing new. Like if you want to see AVP Requiem, just watch like 8 hours of all the other shit instead.
I
It's
did.
so
That's
great.
what I did. I watched them all in essentially, not one sitting, but over the course of 2 weeks. So I started with the Alien movies. I went to the Predator movies, and I saw AVP 1 and AVP 2. AVP 1 is like why I like the Predator 2, because it's like I like that they're expanding this world. I like when they make up their lore line, that the Predators, in order to train and actually get to the big tier, they have to actually fight off a bunch of aliens. Like, to me, I like that. That made sense. That fit within the universe, because the aliens are like these weird, like almost like cockroaches if they took over LA. Like, I like that. They're weird, these weird things, and it's like, oh, they're actually getting defeated by the Predators, and I like that there's dialogue between the main chick and the Predator. No words. And he was explaining to her how to deal with them, and I had a great time with that. Predator 2 is a shitty 90s horror movie with predators and aliens as the villains.
No, looking at the chair now too. Even Julian saying like AVP2 is trash. But the thing is though, and by the way, just so all you guys know, every time you say the word trash, you have to pay Jet like 25 cents. Like that's
Then we owe her a lot of money.
yeah, that's Jet's word now. Like,
That gets us money for advertisement. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
no man, I don't know why, but like every time I say like garbage, trash,
Oh.
dumpster juice, like
Man, Jack just posted that gift. Doesn't that end with her like giving birth to like 8 of the fucking aliens or something?
You damn right, you kinky
I
brown
swear to
bastard.
God, that entire movie was just like, we got an R rating for this. Let's just say go fucking ham wild. Let's start off with a
Yeah.
child getting murdered. Let's start off with every single like
Which is
fucked up
great.
thing we could think of.
You're
Yeah.
about
Yeah, no,
to
essentially
go ham.
it's a feature-length effects reel. That's the only thing. 'Cause the guys who made it, no, I'm saying the guys who made it are visual effects artists. That was their main thing before they made Requiem. So that's the fit. That's just the way that it went. And it's like, yeah, so it has all the great effects of an alien movie or of a Predator movie, and nothing else. That's all it is. It's just showing off lots of gratuitous kills, even once they ripped off from previous movies. So it's just like, what's the point of
Oh,
watching?
come on, it's an alien movie. If you're gonna get pissed off every time they rip off a kill, we're gonna be here all night.
yeah, no, cause well the thing is like yeah, I mean, aside from that, I'm just saying like. I'm hyped just to see Predator like be the main fucking focus of something again because I don't find the storyline between the Predator and the Alien actually interesting, like at all. I just really don't. Like, I mean, you guys might say the first AVP is a good movie and everything, but that thing was so boring because they're trying to give you this lore of like, this is why they're fighting.
I didn't say
And I like that.
I didn't
though.
say that.
That's the
Well,
thing.
most
Like,
people do. Like, I mean, that's like for some reason, like that's if you look on any kind of like review site, if you ask like a Corey Coleman or a Martin Thomas, if you ask a Julian Himmeldinger, whatever the fuck, super horror fans, they all like AVP1, and it's like for me, the reason why I don't like it is because I think it builds too much story. Like you guys, I mean, Justin, you're bringing up the fact that these guys who made the second one are effects artists. Who wants to see Alien vs Predator for fucking story? Like,
that's the thing.
I
do,
want to see
'cause
effects.
I've never seen.
I mean, no, sorry. Go ahead. I was just saying, like, Predator 1. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of story, but we like Arnold. We like the characters in that movie enough. It doesn't have to have a lot of story. It just has to have some story. Like, not make people aren't hateable like the people in Requiem. Those people are all douchebags.
I disagree, man. Like when I originally watched, like, because when I watched the original Predator series, when the Arnold Schwarzenegger and I forget what the other guy's name, the black actor at the time, he was also
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. He was also badass in that too. But like they were all kind of douchebags, like that asshole soldiers that I didn't really feel bad when they started getting picked off. They were more like those douchebag soldiers you run into at a bar and like, yeah, you're going to fight for our country, but don't come back.
That's the thing. Like,
Sorry.
for me, I've never been a.
Fuck them gift checks.
I love that.
Too reason for their feud, fighting over the last pizza. We've been there.
No,
That's gonna be me and Nick in New York. That's how our feud's gonna start.
I don't know why it's breaking me so much.
Ganja
Anyway,
versus
well, y'all are
Diaz.
busy laughing, but one of the things that what I always like, especially in sci-fi, is try to explain your universe in a way that actually somewhat makes sense. And that's why I really enjoy it about. That's what my favorite parts of the Alien movies are, and why I really enjoy Predator 2 and AVP, because you get to build that world, you get to make them make more sense. So it's like, because it's one of those situations where it's like when you watch fucking Alien 1 and Alien 3 and fucking Covenant, it is just watch this alien murder a bunch of people. After a while, I'm just like, no, explain to me why it's so good at this. Like the game AVP, one of them, you actually get to be an alien, and I'm like, that's kind of cool because it's like,
Oh yeah, I remember the one PS3.
Yeah.
Shit,
And,
I'll
like-
raise you one better. It seems like the AVP series can only do good when it comes into like video game format, or it's like the graphic novels, or just the short stories they release. Because I remember this game is still, I still play it now. That even own a copy for my PlayStation 2 that I have now. It's the Alien versus Predator, and I think it's called Extinction, and it's basically an RTS where you play as either Marines, Predators,
Yeah.
or aliens.
Yeah.
And it was a great fucking game, and it was true to the source material to the point where if you went to this one village as the Space Marines, you couldn't tell who people were infected. So unless you told your Marine not to shoot some of the civilians you came across, they would automatically gun them down. And in certain missions, if that happened, you would actually fail. So it was true to what was actually happening with the scenario of aliens, like with the Marines always coming in contact and not know what's going on. I fucking love this game, bitch. I'm leaving the MC. I'm playing this shit.
yeah. Again, 2 or 3, you got 3 different campaigns. One where you're alien, where it's kind of almost a stealth game with some action elements. Then you had one where you're the Predator, and you're just this like super powerful, like almost Iron Man thing with all your cool powers. And then you have the one with the Marine, where it's more of a stealth game, or it's more of like it's like more of like not Outlast per se, but you're more of kind of low on ammo. You're hiding because you're just dealing with all the shit. And to me, it's like I like when you take away the horror and try to actually make it work, because this is sci-fi horror, but I like when you're trying to make the sci-fi work, and they did with those in those movies. So with this Predator, this reboot that's coming out, if it's just gonna be another Predator murdering a bunch of dudes in some weird way, it's like I think I'm just gonna avoid it, because it's like that's just Predator 1, AVP, or AVP Requiem, or Predators. I want to see more of explore the world a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Well, one thing that's cool about this new movie is that it's Shane Black doing it, which is the guy who he helped write the original Predators. He was also one of the actors in Predator.
Yeah, he was one of the soldiers, the guy with the glasses, I think.
So I mean,
Yeah,
that's at least a
Iron Man
little
3.
promising.
Maybe.
And my favorite part about this is apparently like Predator's gonna be electric. Like that's gonna be cool. I love that. You know, just
Yeah,
like,
actually, that's Shazam.
yeah. No. Oh god damn it. Oh man. But actually, Allie, I want to ask you really quick because you're fresh off of Alien Covenant right now. Is there any hope for either of these franchises? Like, are you a little bit hyped at all or nah?
No.
Man, I swear to God. It's Predator. Like, what the fuck? Like, Alien is not.
No. Covenant made me lose hope. I'm
Wait, have
done.
you seen the Predator movie, Allie?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I saw the original one.
Yeah. What do you feel?
Okay.
What do you feel about it?
I mean, I like the original. I do. I honestly haven't been following. Like, I saw Alien versus Predator, the first one.
Yeah.
Which actually it's really fun. I kind of like it. What was the next one? Requiem or whatever. That
Yeah,
one.
and you love that one?
Trash, but,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Those are really like that's really the only like exposure I've been to the Predator series. So like not as much as like Alien, and I've been following that series more. So if anything, like on the Predator side, I don't really care, but like with the Alien side, no.
Yeah. I mean,
Nick, you and
No.
Gary and Ganja are the only people on the planet that actually enjoyed the second one.
Oh yeah!
wait. What the second? Requiem.
Yeah, Requiem.
Okay, I think I say Predator too. It's like, motherfucker, you
No,
like Predator too.
I'm the only person on Earth that likes Predator 2.
Okay, I want to whoop your ass. Nah. Oh God, why do you like?
Because
All right,
again, like I said, I like they added a lot of lore. I like the kind of action throughout the movie. I like that it was kind of set in the city and we saw
Donald
this
Glover-
weird kind of futuristic alien.
But Danny Glover, whatever the fuck that dude's name is, like, dude, that motherfucker's the worst actor. He's just like, oh man, I cannot believe Predator's up in that damn building right there.
Yeah, I
Can't
like
believe
that he's
it.
kind of just like he to me he's still like kind of just a normal dude. Of, what the fuck am I doing fighting this weird alien
Dude,
thing?
it's like someone
That's the whole
crushes
city.
larynx. Like, no human in the world talks like that. Like, I'm like doing like a black version of it, but like he doesn't even sound black. He sounds like Shao Kahn if he got like 50 years older. Like,
Okay, when they do another Mortal Kombat movie, we'll get him to be Shao Kahn.
what? I love that.
Okay, good. We can agree.
Oh man, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna electrocute you. This is just fucking zap you, because Predator's electric. That's a weird. Okay, you know what? I'll throw my hype away. That shit's kind of stupid. Like, I'm
Dude,
sorry.
what this reminds me of? This reminds me of The Dark Knight Returns.
Trash.
But trash.
The Dark Knight Returns is like the comic. There's a fucking lightning bolt to illuminate Batman. That's what that fucking reminds me of.
Every time we say trash,
Wait, are we gonna see a Predator do that pose like?
That would make me hype because that make you see like, okay, we're gonna make this a little bit of a joke movie. You'll enjoy it.
Oh man, I hope this actually is fun too. Like, don't summon some horror shit like as if I'm not fucking friends with Predator at this point.
Predators
Probably
was good.
will
The
be.
one with
Yeah.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah, that's to say, I like that movie. That was the first time I ever saw anything.
It was
in the
decent.
Predator
Like, I don't think it was going to change the game for filmmaking, but it was definitely a good addition to the Predators lore and story. The fact that they go pick up all these assholes from Earth because they're considered the baddest by our species, so they try to fight them.
Yeah, but you know what though? Here's the thing. This is a bad segue. I'm sorry. I can't. I have to do this way. Speaking of Predators,
What are you doing?
Oh, no.
I give that shit 2 thumbs up, motherfucker.
I approve. I
You gotta be
approve.
a friend.
what's up with your camera, man?
He didn't handle it. Harvey Weinstein
He's in
blessing
witness
my camera.
He's in witness protection right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, y'all didn't know that I was the one that ruined Harvey Weinstein's career, man?
Oh, so you posted that article in New York?
I was the mole.
Yeah.
Actually, how about let's all say that right now, since anyone can say it at this point. Yes, he actually touched me inappropriately as well with his awful movies that he fucking greenlit. Like,
Dude, there's a
Except
lot
for
of
three
movies in the fucking
non-consecutive.
Weinstein production, man.
yeah, there's a lot. Zach and Miri making porno is one of them. Holy fucking trash. Like,
You watched that?
yeah, I was bored one night, dude, and I was really depressed.
Yeah, that's the best thing you had at home television. Watch some porn, dude.
No, I wasn't watching for the porn, dude. It's fucking Seth Rogen's in it. Like, I want to see him naked having sex. Like,
I stayed by what I was doing.
okay.
Yeah, we saw.
Okay.
And Justin saw a few times.
Justin got this real smile on his face, like, yeah, I approve.
No, I have a funny story about this Weinstein stuff because
Before we continue, though, just
so
be careful because you and him look way too related. So go ahead.
Hey.
Don't put that on me.
Alright,
but so I did an interview this week for a class project I have to do, and I called the head of communications at Spike TV because they're being rebranded as a new television channel. And it was a really exciting interview because I'm like, oh, they got these new shows I'm really interested in seeing. They got this guy I interviewed was really, really nice, and they're really enthusiastic about this. So I look up a bunch of their shows. It's like, oh yeah, Yellowstone, Waco, all these shows. Who's producing all those shows? The Weinsteins. So I just felt so bad.
You gotta understand that Weinstein's is a giant company, and this one motherfucker is the head of it.
No, I know, but the problem is that you see the fallout that's happening. I mean, people are losing their jobs. Shows are being rebranded so they can remove the Weinstein name. They canceled a few shows on Amazon that were linked to him. Just this fallout is spreading everywhere.
Yeah,
Everyone
I heard stocks for the Harvey Weinstein Corporation is just dropping like a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, shows
right
are
now.
getting canceled. These are getting rebranded. Nobody wants to be associated with that shit. But one of my issues is, and I'm sure Nick's going to bring this up at some point, Roman Polanski and a bunch of other motherfuckers. Like, the problem with Hollywood and the problem with what's going on, that this story is just far-reaching, is everything for the last 30, 40 years has been swept under the fucking rug. And the thing is, when you start sweeping shit under the rug, it gets lumpy as fuck, and things start falling out. We're getting to the point where little things are falling out. We just got to remove the fucking carpet, expose everyone's bullshit all at once. So that we could stop sitting there and be like, that's the bad guy. It's like, no. This is a fucking epidemic. We should get rid of this so we can no longer have it. It's like, oh, am I going to get caught next? No, everyone's getting caught right now so that we can learn that this is fucking bad. We should not be doing this anymore.
And it's frustrating, too.
I mean, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because no, it's one of those situations, too, where it's like when some person who's crazier has been doing weird shit, like, for instance, fucking Corey Feldman. When he's on some fucking, like, TV show or some E-Series interview, wait, what the fuck is that?
He was doing that shit on Good Morning America.
Oh yeah.
Well, and also, was it Corey Feldman who was the victim of abuse as well?
Yeah, because he was on. Remember that clip that's been floating around recently was him on The View, and he was saying that, oh yeah, there's a lot of pedophilia in Hollywood, and no one's talking about it. Everyone wants to swipe it under the rug.
Well, they got on Roseanne's ass because of that too, Allie.
Yeah, well, like, and Barbara Walters is the one that's like, you're ruining an industry. Like, she was trying to, like, chastise him for speaking out on something that's definitely going on within the Hollywood industry just because it might hurt it. And so people have been really on Barbara Walters about that right now.
Yeah, and I like
that's the problem
said,
with
can't wait for American Horror Story Season 8, the Weinsteins. Yeah, but we can see
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why, like, while I agree with the sentiment that Alan just said about, exposing all the dirty laundry, that's the fear that's keeping people. Because, I mean, like, what? Quentin Tarantino came out with the big thing, like, oh, I knew about all this and I should have said something more because I could have saved a bunch of people and done more. It's like, okay, that's great. But the fact that Tarantino did keep that a secret,
Yeah, but a lot of people's jobs. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're almost like, it's almost like a fucking not checkerboard, like a domino fucking table. One guy gets knocked down and it starts knocking down other people, but eventually the dominoes stop. I'm saying just take a sledgehammer to the entire fucking thing, and literally for the next month, every single dirty laundry that's ever happened, just start revealing it so that you can start showing the next generation. Because the thing is, when people come in, they expect you have to hide this stuff. I'll lose my career if I say something. Like, again, Quentin Tarantino was probably like, if I start talking like this, I'm not going to get my next movie fucking greenlit. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, starve and never make another movie again, or look away? So I'm just saying, we got every generation is starting to kind of move into Hollywood and starting the same fucking mentality. But if we just expose everything and stop hiding this shit, we can have a generation where it's like, oh, this shit isn't proper. We're not supposed to be hiding this stuff.
And the fact that it's Harvey Weinstein makes it even more of a, I guess, with a back of the letter word, a high-profile case when it comes to this sexual abuse case. Because the thing with sexual abuse, it's always been like actors, directors, very low-grade middle guys that have been doing it. They have some kind of power over the actress or actor, so they can abuse it. We never really had this where the industry cracked down on one of its own. That's almost up there to the point that he's member of the Foreign Legion in France. This is how much accolades and how much this guy has done for the industry and for the industry as a whole around the world. Like, the fact that they were able to nab this guy and the fact that all of us as a culture and society are just throwing the hammer at him shows how much we're not going to put up with this stuff either now or in the future. So it's sad that he got away with it for so long, but it gives me hope that our generation and our parents' generations, the ones who are really hold his feet to the fire to it, are really going to probably hopefully change the way these guys abuse and exploit their power that they have on these actresses, directors, and all these other people that work under them. Because Hollywood is a bigger industry than just actors. Who knows how many AIDS he's probably done this to that will never come out.
Oh, and you got to think about also, like, it's not just Hollywood, but you know what also is a big, huge epidemic with this is the fashion industry. Can you imagine how many models have been sexually assaulted or abused? Because, same thing with that in Hollywood. I mean, there was this one, I forgot her name, but there's this one model who she actually took the time on her Instagram, and many people like messaged her because she started out saying, yeah, I was, assaulted by this person. And so all of these other models came out, and they're anonymous, but they said, "Oh yeah, this happened to me too." And it's just a flood pages upon pages of these people's stories of them saying how they were abused by someone in the fashion industry. And it's just, I've always known, at least in the fashion industry, it's been extremely bad, and you had to really take care of it because they really try to take advantage of these young girls. It's ridiculous. So it's not just Hollywood. It's probably everywhere.
And the big thing
agree with
about
Alex.
that too,
Music
that's
industry.
oh, what were you saying?
To agree with Ali's point, like it's not just Hollywood, the music industry. Kesha came out recently saying that her fucking producers were doing shit to her to keep her around. Like it happens all the fucking in almost every industry.
It's in any industry or any kind of business sector. Anything where there's people with more power over the people that work under them, you're going to see this kind of exploitation happen. It just happens throughout history. It's just something that always occurs when someone has more power over the other, and they're a little bit sexually creepy or kinky about it, and they take advantage of other people's freedom when it comes to that.
And I know that.
I mean, I'm glad that all of us can agree that this is bad, and we don't have no motherfucker like that one model who was like, well, what were they wearing?
Yeah, I was watching John Oliver last night or the other night, and she's just like, "Well, what are us women wearing, and what are we asking for?" I'm just like, "Oh fuck, I can't believe you're saying."
Was it Donna Karan?
I think so, because she's
she's
some sort of fashion
She's a fashion designer. But she said, she came out and apologized. She was like, "I don't know what the hell was wrong with me." Of course, after the fact. But I mean, her excuse was that she was extremely exhausted and she just didn't know what the heck she was saying. I don't really believe that. But still, it's just like, that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be the deal for who cares how a woman's dressed? Like, that doesn't give anyone an excuse to violate them.
No, but at the same time, I think there is something to say that we live in such a sexually pervasive culture that we have made sex so much on the forefront that it's not. I mean, the problem is
consensual sex in the forefront.
No, and I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the fact is still that we've created this weird mentality of people saying like, "Oh, I can just get sex anywhere I want." So therefore, these people, they're putting out totally. I can take total advantage of that. So
consensual.
I
know what you're getting at, but you're forgetting the important point of we're a sexually open society, but with boundaries of consent.
Nobody here would be talking about Harvey Weinstein if he was banging his aides or these female actresses and they were 100% involved and ready to go down on Mr.
I agree.
Weinstein.
Or if he just went to a bunch of brothels or some shit.
Yeah.
The thing is too, though, because one thing, the more this happens too, because everyone's saying I've heard this a lot, this is just the way it is, and even you and me, Ganja, but even me and you, Ganja, when we're into this, we're talking about this, we're not into this. No, when we're talking about this, we'll say something like, "Yeah, dude, just this shit sucks, it's just the way it is," and blah blah blah. But people are so used to this being the way it is that they're fucking making jokes now. I read this on Facebook yesterday. And I was rereading this as we're talking and everything, but yeah, Detroit-based photographer.
Nah.
Yeah,
and of course people are gonna do this.
Wait,
they're always gonna come up with their quote-unquote jokes.
But this is not just some troll on the internet. This is not just a troll on the internet.
Lord.
This is a dude. This is a photographer, Chris Sadian.
Well, he's clearly a troll because he ends it with a fucking laughing emoji because he thinks he's fucking funny.
Oh
also,
no, but it gets worse though. No, but it gets worse though because apparently. That fucking dude, and I mean, you can't. I mean, I can't sit here through the whole thing, but a bunch of other women came in Chris, dude, I've been at parties with you, or they don't say dude because they're girls, but yeah, I mean, but they're basically saying no, I've been at parties with you. You drugged me. You drugged my sister. I would meet you to go get some clothes fitted for me, whatever the fuck, and then the next day, I came to at the back of some fucking store, and I have no proof that you did some shit to me, and it's that's the thing. We've had discussions in the MCA, just behind the scenes and everything about certain situations where maybe, women should be more I don't know, just ready to stab a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it's just I know it's one of those things that we've gotten into arguments before about women, it's not good to judge somebody right away. You shouldn't judge a dude saying okay, you're for sure going to do some bad shit to me. You're all, already making up your mind. But you should always have in your fucking head that maybe it can happen. No matter how much you trust somebody, no matter how much you're comfortable, there's always a slight fucking chance. And
hey, that's fair because anyone, it's just people are human. People make mistakes.
I know, but I mean, actually, Nick's referencing. Oh, sorry, no, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, and I was just saying, and then I agree in that sense. But the problem is too is that anyone who's ever heard of Harvey Weinstein, he's been a creep for years. Not even just sexually. He's just a bully. He's an a-hole. We only just give him credit because he made a lot of money and a lot of big films. So it's just that sad thing, that people just with this much power, they let it get to their heads, and we enable this an industry that's admittedly full of creeps like him. And that's just a big problem, a big issue. Because I've been told by industry professionals that we interviewed, that lectured in some of my courses back at BYU. It's like, yeah, the problem is entertainment attracts weirdos. It attracts creeps and freaks who think that they can get money and power and sex because they were denied all that time, or whatever the case may be,
Especially like what you get from I think this is also a big generation gap. Like a lot of us were about around the same generation. We're about below 30, mid-range, maybe 25. Me and Ali are on the youngest side. So we all kind of grew up with the same thing. We all have the same ideas. We were just a couple of separate ways from each other in school. So we knew what we were growing up in. We all remember the same stuff. So I think what this is a generation gap, because when we were growing up, this whole idea of me wasn't as pushed as in our generation, as hard as it was for a lot of these older folks that were growing up in the late 70s, early 80s, especially in the industries they were going into, where, especially in the acting world, especially in the finance world, it was mostly how much they could get out of the Hollywood lifestyle, and that was encouraged, especially with the cocaine lifestyle that was around the time, and it wasn't no real sexual freedom for women at the time. So if you had a sexy secretary, you can basically do what Harvey Weinstein was doing and not have to worry about shit, because that was the time that it was considered socially acceptable. That's what you did. And if you were a man of power, man of wealth, you had more of a higher standard to get away with that. And as we get progressively more and more, we're not accepting that. And our generation is now holding people of that generation to the fire. And I think now that he's losing his company, not like even Skull mentioned, like he's paying the price socially, but he didn't go to jail. He's not facing criminal charges. I think the fact that his whole fucking empire of movie and what he produces overseas is just collapsing to the point that he's losing really honorary rewards that go to certain people that only win certain like wars or have been like real representative of their countries. He's collapsing more than he would get out of doing prison time. I just wish that the women would see proper justice, but I think they're getting some victory out of seeing all his shit collapse and him basically begging for a restart or people to stop leaving him alone.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
because he got expelled from nearly every guild in Hollywood, like the Directors Guild, the TV Academy, the Motion Picture Academy, Producers Guild. Like,
do it again.
He is collapsing. Like
Hillary Clinton's probably still picking the phone calls, but we won't talk about that.
But see, the thing that's frustrating to me though, I really hate the fact that like that's happening, and yet still like his brother Bob Weinstein, who's already done shit, he's not fucking spent for anything. Roman Polanski's still in there. Sorry.
Well, he's in another country. Like if he shows up in New York, we'll get his ass. Trust me. There's a whole division.
Roman Polanski's He's using the law to get away. That's his problem.
How many people are in there? Like, this reminds me of the fucking, like, NFL. And I really can't stand how it's like, you can go 30, 40, no, more, like 100, like 100 years of men beating the fuck out of their wives and doing drugs and doing bad shit. But then a very popular black fucking football player does the same thing. Oh, now we need to make rules, everybody. Like, I'm not saying you should beat your wife or anything. But what I'm saying is...
You want the punishment to be equal across the board.
It takes some awards away.
Doesn't
Why
happen,
the fuck are these people still
like,
getting paid? Like, to sit at home, these old men who are like, yep, I got away with that shit back in my day. Like,
I
fuck
get
you.
100% what you're talking about, Nick, because you got motherfuckers now who sexually assaulted women who are now coming out against Harvey Weinstein, or people who defended motherfuckers who've done this. Like, my favorite is the queen of liberal Hollywood. What's her name?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Just clapping away for Roman Polanski, and now she's like, what a horrible man, that Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fucking...
Well, that's the funny thing, because, like, she was trying to make the thing like, oh, Trump is such a misogynist and his horrible explanations and that stuff. Hollywood's full of hypocrites, man.
But again, it's just like, people are... A lot of times they have to be like that. They have to clap for certain people. They have to hide certain things under there, because it's either you stand up to your morals and don't have a job, or how much of your morals are your morals up to here? How much are you able to lower them to continue working in something that you want to do? It's like,
that's you have to become a sycophant. Yeah.
And that's why I feel like that's what bothers me, because like all she did was clap. Like there was plenty of people. Chad Nicholson was right in front of her, sitting his old ass down, just clapping. I can forgive just a little clap. She stood up. She was like, "No, fuck yes, pedophilia. Yeah, come on, Gandhi. Oh, pedophilia, like
again, we just need a clean slate. We need a fire and brimstone. We need literally just
God.
everybody.
I was not wrong because Justin, you're more knowledgeable what's going on like with Hollywood around the world, but I think it was the UK recently. They busted a bunch of directors and lead actors that were basically in charge of a child sex ring up in the
Oh.
70s and 80s and got rid of all their accolades. And some of them that were still around are actually looking at being prosecuted by some of the victims that are still alive and who are still able to charge them under the laws of that country.
Probably. I mean, I don't know about that one, but I do know there is some fallout happening to other people. Like the head of Amazon Studios just had to resign because of the assault allegation that he had too. So there's a bunch of consequences happening across the world of people, like Alan's saying, cleaning house in some ways. So
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's one of those things that's only happening because one motherfucker got caught. It's like a mouse, man.
Yeah.
You find one, there's 17 other you don't fucking see.
I disagree. Like, it's never been this large scale, and it's never been such a high profile. It's to the point that, like, if we got like Trump actually got found guilty for his sexual abuse cases next week, and he was impeached because of it, like this dude lost a huge, basically his own monopoly on filming to the point that he had all these accolades and was a real known studio. To the point that it's all gone no matter what 3-4 days that the story's been popping.
Yeah, well, worse.
Just imagine now how people keep getting more revealed. Hell, we have people that are just hunting for actors now that are just trying to support Harvey Weinstein or trying to like not say anything and just looking for their shit now.
Yeah.
Well, but at the same time, too, one big issue I've had, and actually talked about this in a lecture that we had this week too. The fact that we need to have everyone's opinion on this matter. I mean, even us, we're talking about it right now, so we're just enabling the problem. But there's a big stink in CNN where they're just like, well, notice Obama and Hillary weren't saying anything until much later, so clearly there's something wrong until we have their approval on this being a bad thing. It's like, we need their opinion on this. Who cares what Hillary thinks about?
You know what?
Harvey
We need to find Ja Rule.
No, but to moving on though, because like on top of this big old thing that's going on too, is like another thing, and I just like because people are making jokes about something like that because I think people are just getting too used to the whole idea of like, yeah, there's lots of rape shit like that going on, and it's just like, yeah, it's so common I can make jokes now. Now for some reason it's okay to make fun of dead children after tons of fucking bombs going off like a
What?
yeah.
What?
What the frick is this?
Grand Foul.
What is this?
May I read this to the folks because I actually read up on the Greenfall tragedy. So apparently, what's going on in the UK? If you guys know around the world, there was an apartment complex that accidentally caught on fire because it was under standard with the codes. It had imperfection when it came to fire standards. A whole bunch of shit that was wrong that it should have been taken care of. So basically, what's going on is
18 children died, by the way, there. So
yeah, so 18 kids. A lot of people died. I think it was like up to like 100 people actually passed away, maybe less or more. But if you show the picture, apparently they're saying that the costume is out of taste because it depicts a kid that is burnt alive, and that's what the costume is. It's burnt alive zombie. I honestly think these people are reaching for a controversy, Nick.
No, I feel like they're trying to be talked about. Yeah. And I mean, but it's frustrating because whether or not they're, they get in trouble or people complain, whatever the fuck, this is getting spread. We might see people wear this costume in America, like, on the regular, like, for Halloween.
Wait, so, okay, the question is that costume directly related to it, or does it look like it?
No, it's not directly related to, but it was being sold originally in the area where the tragedy happened, and now it's being sold everywhere else.
Yeah,
okay, but
I think it's just people looking for a controversy, so comic book horror can get a clink off of us.
Okay, dude, I swear, I thought you fucking started the story up, but I thought they actually made a costume based on the tragedy. Like, I thought that's how this fucker was going. I was like, what the fuck? But no, people are... It's like the whole, that Negan thing and the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe shirt. The
originality of that, though, I mean, trust me, that was stupid as shit. But the original, like, grab a tiger by its toe was actually, like, the N-word.
Yeah.
Like, way back in the day. You know what I mean? So, like, that's a little bit different. I still feel it's ridiculous to say, like, oh, Walking Dead is racist. I think that's way too much. But... Yeah. I mean, yeah, but then again, it's like with any nursery rhyme, honestly, like they all have really dark fucking like
Ring Around the Rosies about the bubonic plague and people dying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
London Bridge falling down, like, that's fucked up. Like, yeah. So
also though, Nick, you posting that article, I think I just need to unsubscribe from comicbook.net or whatever that site is because I've been seeing so many articles from them trying to stir up controversies where there's no controversy present. Like even the South Park game, they were trying to stir up controversy together. They're like, isn't it so racist the way they showed that Kanye West thing in there? It's like, You guys played the game, right? What that was about?
No, because that is racist as fuck, dude. That
I don't. I don't.
As someone who actually played the game, Nick, it's not racist. If anything, like as you play that actual mission, it's more of a bashing of Kanye West than anything.
Yeah, and no, but they're trying to get the thing like the whole black thing. It's like, no, it's specifically about Kanye West and this thing.
Oh no, they use blackface. I ain't gonna defend that shit. He put their mom in a menstrual face with the red lips and the dark chocolate body.
Yeah.
I know what they were doing there. That was some shenanigans.
And why were you defending? I know you guys are fans of it, but like, don't defend it just because you're fans of it. Because this is the same show that says "fucking Jews" like on a regular.
Hey man,
Well, that's what I'm saying too. Is that if you're gonna
I
pick one
defend
thing,
it on the regular because I'm a fan of it, and I think I love absurd humor. You know me, Nick. We've
Yeah.
always had this argument about this. You know, me loving crude humor. But the thing with South Park is they do everybody. Even like maybe 4 weeks ago, they did a Native American episode, and I laughed my ass off when they showed Stan Mars kick the Native American dude dressed up like Columbus because it was so absurd, and especially that it made a commentary about the times in America because it cuts away to this runner who just got his phone out and Stan's dad's like, please don't record that. Please don't record that. And he just takes off running. And he chased after the dude dressed like Columbus. So it's really, if sometimes South Park does it very lazily. And Justin, you could agree with some parts in that game, like they just did crude humor for the sake of doing crude humor.
oh, they always do that.
Like the fart stuff. Like I hope I'm not spoiling too much for people because it's not supposed to be a video game review. But since you asked our opinion on South Park and how I feel about it as a fan, the fart stuff I always felt was being too childish. Like even to the point that I never really thought it was done well, even in the video games or in the show. But when they've done like political humor or political commentary and stuff like that, or celebrity commentary, I've always supported it because I know they go after everybody. Like for example, they had George Clooney come on and do some voice acting work for them, and he did some stupid shit at Oscars, and they made fun of him for a whole episode to the point that he was the main villain for the fact of what's going on to the town.
The one
Yeah,
that
they
I have to bring it up really quick, because here's the thing. Like, my only issue is just the fact that rules and certain, like, what people accept as being racist or whatever is one thing, and then it changes when something else happens. Like, for instance, one big thing that people say, back in the old days, the racist-ass cartoons, they were racist as fuck. Like, you can't look at something like that and not say, okay, dude, that's definitely them getting away with some shit they shouldn't be getting away with, right?
Right.
Then, right next to it, I have this thumbnail that I put up for the high score on Double Toasted. That's the character from the fucking video game. You can't tell me, like, how can this be considered racist, but this is absolutely okay?
I think the reason I give it a pass for me personally, because I've seen what they've done with Native Americans, and they've gone a whole episode where they basically just go against like how my people build casinos and how we, as some tribes, do it as business people, and then we take advantage of the towns and the local population, which some tribes are guilty of that when they build their casinos. It's mostly to exploit the local area. So I really was laughing my ass off at that episode. So when I see, for example, them do a black caricature of I guess better lack of the word, a black-faced woman, I kind of let it slide because when you actually play the game, it's not her eating watermelon. It's not the stereotypical minstrel stuff. It's more of the exaggerated features to get a rise out of people and to get me talking about it. It's more of it's not like a attack on people. It's more of I guess what they do with Native Americans is more of a exaggerated portrayal to get a absurd humor out of people to laugh at. Whereas when you actually play that level, there's no mention of her in either, what you see with the racial caricature from the 1950 commercial, eating watermelon, being ignorant, being lazy, or what they portrayed the most negative features possible for black people in the 50s. You don't really see that in the video game itself.
Now, the one thing that...
Yeah, so it's context. It's context.
Yeah, that really depends on context. Because if I just showed you what they did with Native American, like, for example, like I just gave you the context for the scene with Stan's dad and the American. If I just showed you the picture, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Hell,
but
one of my favorite episodes of South Park is them directly making fun of my people. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
the
Hey, they
Family
make fun
Guy episode, and them wanted to do a portrayal of Muhammad in the show, and it was just a giant controversy.
Well, how about this?
Yeah, they make fun of the Mormons in one episode too. That was all about making fun of my religion, and they're just like, I mean, even though they say Mormons are the correct religion, but the whole episode is about them saying these guys are stupid. That's
Yeah.
what
Oh yeah,
And then they even have a 9/11 episode where they just basically they made fun of Arab people, but in the end of the day, it shows that they're just regular people as you and me. And that was the whole point of the joke. Was like, look at these white kids thinking they can help us by just giving us goat. Like, get out of here. We actually need help.
I'm not going to convince anybody, but I completely...
Probably not.
Because, I just saw, like, the opening episode of this recent season. They do this huge fucking stupid Mexican fucking, like, when they're working on the house thing. And aside from the racist shit, because they are so being racist. I'm sorry, but, like, you can add all the context in the world. Fucking Jews is racist. You don't say shit like that. You just don't.
Well, that's the point within the character. Is
Yeah.
Carmen is an asshole. Like if I get like for example, if you found
Oh,
Dave Chappelle's black racial caricature of the black KKK member, that's
Oh,
offensive.
Oh, yeah.
He's a derogatory terms. He's a hateful person. But that's the point of the character. That's what Carmen is. He's an ignorant asshole 12-year-old
couldn't you say
boy.
that about Quentin Tarantino though? That like his characters who say the N-word 20 fucking times. He's racist though, so
The
it's
difference,
okay.
with, the difference with Quentin Tarantino is Quentin Tarantino, he does it like a person that's just giggling behind the corner, that's allowed to say the N-word. And I feel like when he does the N-word, it's not natural in a form of dialogue. For example, you have other movies that are written by white writers, and they'll add the N-word into it, and it's more natural to how the scene and how the people they are portraying will use it. I'm trying to think of movies off the top of my head, and I can't personally.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I mean, I see where you're coming from. I don't agree, but I see where you're coming from. But like even stuff like this too, like because once again, the bad jokes. Like I mean, they make fun of Donald Trump because apparently that's the big flavor of the fucking year right now. Just hey, if we bring Donald Trump and say a bad thing, you're cool all of a sudden. Like they're trying to win me as a Mexican over by every time the Mexicans are working on the house. By the way, because that's all Mexicans can do is work on a fucking house and cook burritos.
Well,
and,
no,
like,
they're not. South Park is never trying. Like, don't ever get the impression they're trying to win you over. They can care less if they win you
But
over.
then again, like
Yeah,
while they're doing
exactly.
it, they're constantly making a joke. Like there's wall puns, and you hate puns, Ganja. But every sentence is a wall pun or a Trump builds
Well, I hear
walls
that
pun.
shit too. Like, if you want to go like what I dislike about certain episodes, I could be here all day. Those wall puns were stupid. Me personally, like the white people take our jobs thing, I only thought it was smart towards the end when they started giving them bullshit jobs and the guys started fighting up against them.
Yeah, and then one thing like I hate bad jokes, I hate easy shit. But then the biggest thing too is disrespect. Like right now, you and Justin just said they made fun of 9/11. I don't think that shit's funny. And then on top of this too.
Well, they
What's
make fun
funny?
of 11. They make fun. They made fun of what the country was feeling about either the exaggeration of fear or just the people that were just feeling they didn't care about what happened.
Yeah, and then what's funny about making fun of someone's dead mom, dude? Like
Here's the thing, because this is based on a story that was published a while back about Kanye West wanting to make a video game about his mom going to heaven.
yeah, I
as a
know the
bit.
context. Yeah, I know the context. It's not funny no matter
Yeah.
what. It makes it worse.
I mean, that's subjective. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
that's very
point.
subjective. And my problem, like I've gotten to this debate with Bugs, is my problem with a lot of people supporting the idea that they should have done, Kanye's mom is the idea. Oh, she was a nice person, or she wasn't famous, or any of that shit. I agree. She wasn't famous. She didn't make herself real known. You never seen her on the red carpet. You never see his mom ever go on an album. But what happened is he made his mom a product to be sold to other people to be ingested and to be criticized upon. So once you do that, you open the floodgates. And I gave a personal example because, for example, there's a video of me and my little brother. We're doing I think it was one of the bumpers where we're doing basically a DDR thing. If people start making fun of my brother or start making memes about me and him, I had no control of that because I put my brother out there. Now, if they went through my personal Facebook and went searching for that shit, that's being stalkerish and that's being an asshole. But if I put it out there, I can't control the criticism or the type of satire that people want to do.
I wish you would
I
have
kinda
told me
agree
that
with
before I
Nick
put
on
my
this
picture up.
I
it's
kind
funny
of agree with
because,
Nick on this one. I get the whole thing of it's public domain, you can do whatever you want. You're still making fun of Kanye West for being pretentious is one thing.
Well, that's
but
the whole
are
point
making
of the
fun
when you actually play the level, Alan. That's the whole point of the game. They're never making fun of his dead mom. They never bring up what she died of. They never bring up her history, her relationships. It's all about what Kanye West was portraying his mom and how he feels about himself as a person.
And maybe you're right. They're 100%.
Once you play the game, you understand because it's really taken out of context.
Yeah, and I'm still scared for the guy with the Jews thing. Everyone was cool with that, but it's like now they're doing you get to be the game is harder when you're black. Like it's realistic, so I'll give it that. But
that's the point. That's the point. They're trying to make
okay,
jokes.
stop saying it. I know it's a fucking point. Like yeah, of course.
Man,
Yeah.
a lot of people are getting on that one way or another. They all have their opinion. That is starting a lot of fights, and I think that was entirely their point of why you're doing that.
Yeah.
But my question is, why do a character creation? Why not just have a start of the character right away?
Well, no, but
why do a
the thing I
character?
was gonna say though is what's scary about it though is the fact that if they got away with all the dialogue and all the shit they're happening. We keep going in this direction. It's the same thing that happens with anything else. Like Donald Trump. Oh man, it'd be funny if he was president, right? Oh my god, look at those votes go up. That shit's hilarious. I can't believe people, right? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Bam, he's president. And it's wouldn't it be funny if people start talking to the black guy differently in the South Park game? Wouldn't it be funny if you're actually black and the game's harder? And then I guarantee you, in like 5 years, oh man, now they call you the N-word in the fucking video game. Like, shit ain't funny. Like, it really isn't funny.
You're doing a I guess an exaggeration built upon like this one idea. Like I honestly like what you mean about Donald Trump being elected because you a joke. That's not really why Donald Trump was elected. When you really look at what really got people into the polls to vote for him, even people that voted for Obama at the time, it was really because of the Democrats' mishandling of the last 8 years. Not only Hillary Clinton run a shitty campaign, like maybe the joke things did keep like people that were on the fence with voting off of it, like, oh, it might be funny if Donald Trump wins. But you had a lot more people that went against Donald Trump and more people that supported Donald Trump to the point that he actually won a legitimate election. Like I think there's a little more difference between what the culture says about a person, especially like when you talk about South Park, saying like, oh, if you make fun of this, it's gonna go bam, bam, bam. I guess the stepping stone hypothesis is what you're proposing. Is like if something happens here, you're gonna see this happen here. That doesn't really tend to happen with like entertainment and stuff like that. Like we've had more brutal entertainment in the 70s and 80s, especially when it came to comedies, that didn't really end with the world like us just saying the N-word casually to a black person, or because a game makes it harder to be black, people started being harder lifetime and being black because of the game. It's always been it's more of a satire on what's already happening within the world rather than it causing what happens in the world already.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll agree, disagree. And really, like, I look at the chat and they're like, yeah, it's like a rewind. We had this conversation a month ago. But then the biggest thing, too, is, like, I really just never get to have Justin and Ganja agree on something. So this was all really just
Ganja, I'm going to high-five you, man.
Justin.
Yeah, like, I'm so glad that you guys are, like, togetherness, even though you both are fucking stupid. Anyways, I'm moving on. No.
Hi, Kettle. Name's Pot. Have we met?
Oh, that was clever. No, but hey, man, one more thing to talk about really quick, and then we might end up going off here. I don't know, but here's the thing, man. What do you know? Another comic book trailer. Another comic book movie, show, whatever the fuck trailer. Man, they fucked up my boy, the Punisher. Oh, God, that trailer fucking sucked ass, man. Ganja, did you watch it? Well,
yes, I did, and I kind of wish they just stuck with the one trailer because this last trailer was really a little too spoilerish for me.
Okay, I avoided the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
The main reason for this trailer was because they delayed the Comic-Con panel, and they had to find a way to get the release date out without just going. They wanted to make it an event, not just here's the release date. They wanted to actually have.
I got a good question. You actually raised a good question with that statement. I want to ask you guys, Allie, did you see the trailer by any chance?
Nope. If it's anything spoilery, nope.
Both you and Alan suck. So anyway, I guess
you motherfuckers told me not to see it.
That was after we were going to watch it, so we just decided to give you a props on it. Anyways, Justin, Nick, you guys seen it, so I'm just going to go with you three. You two, I can't count right now. But anyways, from watching the trailer, did you guys understand why they kind of didn't release it on New York Comic Con? Because when I was watching it, I understand fully just from certain actions and certain people that were being harmed throughout the trailer.
I think
just
I know.
The concept of the Punisher is the reason why they didn't do it. Just knowing what the Punisher is. He's a guy who goes around and shooting people.
Yeah, but it's mostly bad guys, and they could easily spun that like he would have been somebody that kind of killed the Las Vegas shooter because he's that type of vigilante. But my thing is like what you saw portrayed in that actual trailer was not what he's usually about. This is more of like the hardcore Punisher going after certain types of people.
Exactly. I think what it is, there was a certain part in the trailer where, and I think we did mention this, or I mentioned this to you. This is probably why you know, but the cop killing, because the GTA.
I was trying to skip around it, but I guess you got to say, he does kill a few cops in the trailer.
Because the thing is,
and that's the point. Apparently, it's part of a conspiracy thing. But yeah, like Skull said, the only reason they did this trailer is to show the release date. That's the only thing they did it.
That's it.
So, and it's coming out when?
November 17th.
November 17th.
Nope. Yeah, so it's gonna be Thanksgiving.
So let's go down the list of what's coming out then. Justice League, Punisher, and Battlefront 2.
Oh damn!
Justice League's gonna lose a lot of money.
This is so bad when you think of it in that context, right?
No, but like the thing is,
Battlefront 2, one of the largest releases of the year.
No, the thing is though, like while thinking about this, because okay, like you guys are saying, like, well, the trailer was made, for the day of the release. Yeah, they fucked up a huge opportunity there too, because it's like it was kind of cool not knowing. It was like making just show up one day. Now you just did what you should did fucking months ago and just tell us when it fucking comes out. Like, what
You
the
want them
fuck?
just to never tell anybody when it's coming out, and people just going, "What the fuck?"
I thought
and
that
it's
was a
just
gimmick. What were all the trailers about? I now know that next.
That would make more
month-
sense for Daredevil season 3.
Oh yeah, no, put it in Braille and fucking Jesus fucking Christ. God, oh, I hate. Who the fuck is in charge at Marvel / Netflix? Like, who the fuck is doing these?
Harvey
Hey,
Weinstein.
it's either we never release this trailer, we put money into editing, or we release this trailer and have you bitch about it. It's a lose-lose situation.
God, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Unfortunately, this is a case where real life kind of ruined their hype in a way, you know. And I mean,
Yeah, it sucks that real life ruined their hype.
no, I'm not trying to belittle it because of history. I'm just saying, out of context, you know, just saying it's like, yeah, they were really trying to build up something for hype, and then unfortunately reality sunk in, and that. So, you know.
yeah, and the thing is, though, is like while thinking about though too that really bothers me is like even though everyone's saying like, yo, like fucking, you know, this whole Punisher thing, it's the trailer, it's for the date, and I'm like, that's cool, and I totally get that, but you can also do that while doing a good trailer. Like,
Yeah, but they'd have to recut a trailer.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad trailer.
yeah,
either. I think
work for
it's
your
not as-
money. You got millions of dollars.
It's-
Don't let them work. Oh God.
No, but the thing is, it's like, okay, they've made a trailer that works, and making trailers are expensive. So it's like, we got to also work within the budget of the show to make sure we can actually, because marketing in some cases is almost as much as the actual budget. So you're basically saying, okay, we have to risk us not making any money off this show, and us might not getting a second season because it's financially unviable.
Does that make the trailer better or not with the context?
What are you talking about?
He hasn't seen it. I'm just saying,
No, but
like,
just in any situation, like if you have the context of anything, right? Let's say The Dark Knight's going to come out next month, right? And it was a bad trailer or something. Like the context behind of why the trailer is bad for the reason that it's bad. The context does it make it better, or is it still a shitty trailer? Because what I'm struggling with is the fact that this is shitty, and I know the reason why it's shitty, and I get the point, Justin. I get the whole context of it, but it doesn't change the fact that it's shitty.
No. But here's the thing. Also, I don't dislike this trailer. I think it's an alright trailer. It's not as good as the last trailer, but the last trailer was different because they're trying to, they're really trying to amp up you for that trailer. You know, with the whole, they play the more hardcore version of the song because it's one, right? The Metallica song.
Yeah.
You better recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm not a huge Metallica guy, but I know it's one. But that's the thing. Like, they're trying to go for kind of a little bit more of a mild, softer tone with this one compared to how frantic and crazy the last trailer was.
You're
And,
right.
I
Rick
mean-
should show up in The Walking Dead as one of the villains for an episode.
No, but the
Dude, you know what? That would be awesome if Rick was the bad guy. I would watch The Punisher versus Rick. You know, just
and then finally get to see Shane get his revenge. Yeah, that'd be the fucking shit. But the thing that I'm having an issue with too is the fact that like, okay, like I get they changed it a little bit. They had some reverb compression. I think they had like someone actually recover the whole song for the first trailer, and then like at the end they played the original. And that's cool. I get it. Like, I don't know if you noticed. I mean, I'm really into this shit. But like the beginning of the last trailer was actually a remastered version of one. It wasn't actually the Metallica's original version.
Okay.
But
I was curious because I listened to the song afterwards. It sounded pretty similar. Like it was just all the instrumental parts, and then they went into the verse. But
exactly. Yeah.
And that part when they played
Yeah.
Evanescence Band, that was weird.
No, but at the end of the trailer, they do play like the actual song, but like whatever the case may be. But this trailer goes back and forth between the remastered and the actual version of the song, and then put some orchestra shit in there too. And it's just like it's like guns, music. Okay, no, not that song. Okay, no, let's play the orchestra song. No, back to metal. Fuck, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there is no I can't say the word linearity. I can't.
No linearity.
Yeah, I
What
saw
Alan said.
There was no flow to this. There was no linear flow. Just use small
Yeah.
words.
Thank you
Okay,
so much. But there was it just seems so just jumbled. It was like it's almost like a fan put a compilation video together and it's like, hey guys, fucking Punisher, the greatest parts. Like, man, I'm so hyped. I want to see the Punisher. I cannot wait for this fucking thing to come out. I'm gonna watch the fuck out of it. I'm probably gonna binge watch it super fast.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Yeah, I would love.
You know, I'm going to say this too, just as a public service announcement for people who are curious. I can't remember if they showed this in the trailer, but there's a thing about character. Don't look up who it is. Because that will be a big spoiler for reveal in the show. Because someone looked it up for me, and I'm just like, oh.
I'm glad your mic cut out the name of the person.
Yeah, I
Your
literally
mic's
censored it.
spoiler.
Okay, well, there you go.
Keep that shit
It literally cut out as you were about to say someone's name.
Wow, that's some good timing. But no, I was saying just that actor. I'm not going to say the name again just in case. It's just, there's one
Yeah,
actor.
no, I'm doing the same thing with The Flash season 4. I'm sure that villain is something, but I like the surprise. Like sometimes it's just good to stay away from this stuff because it's like, yeah, you're already gonna fucking watch it. Just sit there and enjoy it and try to. That's why I hate watching trailers. It's just trailer culture where, and it's like some of the worst that's it's ever been.
Well, it's just a problem. I mean, okay, no, to be fair, trailers were much worse in the 80s and the 70s when they literally tell you the entire movie in the trailer. I mean, and that's really a thing that happens. If you look up old trailers, like I want to say it was either Die Hard or Poltergeist, or even The Exorcist, they literally play the exact plot, beat for beat plot. I think it's just the problem that it's harder to sell an audience on a trailer because you have half the people who want surprise, but then there's a surprising amount of people who just want to know what the movie's about. So how do you satisfy both people?
Easy. Satisfy neither and say, here's an image of the whatever. Here's the release date. Go fuck yourself.
No, but see, this is the thing that they did a lot back in the day that I really cannot stand that they don't do anymore. Basically, and you know what did this really well, and I gotta give props to Allie for always talking so good about this movie that we ended up watching finally, and Ganja didn't like it so much. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it showed me so much, but the movie's actually good and actually has shit in it that the stuff that I even knew that was coming up, I was like, oh shit, like that was actually better in the movie than it was in the trailer.
The remake or the original?
Yeah.
The remake.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
no,
like...
those are good trailers. They're really good trailers. They don't tell you much, right, Nick?
Like, yeah, exactly. And then, like, Gerald's Game is another one, too. Gerald's Game is one of those movies where, like, basically, you would think nothing really happens. The girl is just laying on the fucking bed the whole damn thing. And the trailer pretty much gives that away. Tells you, yeah, she's going to be stuck in the fucking thing. And yet you're still surprised. And everything about this fucking movie just keeps fucking shocking you. Like, more. And has you at the edge of your seat. Or, you know, at the edge of the bed. Okay, you know, but, like... This fucking movie, you know, it's like that's how you do the shit. If the movie's actually good, you can get away with showing me stuff.
Yeah, but those are so far and few in between. What I always bring up, and this is one of my favorite worst trailers, is if you've ever seen the movie The Grey, and you've ever watched a trailer for the movie The Grey, those are two different movies. I have a buddy of mine who hates that fucking movie to high hell. And I asked him, like, why? I saw the movie, I loved it. And he goes, have you ever watched the trailer? I'm like, no, Liam Neeson was in it, so I watched it. He goes, go watch that fucking trailer. And I go watch the trailer, I'm like, oh my fucking god, this is the complete opposite of the fucking movie.
The trailer sells a
slow, methodical, like, we gotta deal with, like, we're surviving in the wild, and it's just us, and it's a cold tundra. But the fucking trailer has shots in the movie of him fighting wolves that are never in the fucking movie.
And the sad thing is, those are literally the last shots of the movie. Like, they tell you the movie in the trailer, and they sell it to you as if it's the middle of the movie. Like, no, that's the last scene of the movie that you see there in the trailer.
Yeah, but it's
fuck
just
that shit.
Yeah, and to me, it's like when you watch the movie, it's this slow, methodical, like survival experience throughout the wilderness, and as every character is kind of experiencing almost their own deaths in a lot of cases, it's this really kind of slow, depressing story. That trailer made it seem like it was fucking Taken 4.
Yeah. No, and that's the problem where they didn't know. Well, because I can only understand this. How do you get people excited to see a slow, methodical movie about contemplating death? You know,
or another one. What was that movie with? What was that movie with Thor and Zemo from? It was the racing one. Was it called Rush?
Oh, Rush. Yeah,
Rush is a great movie that has no action in it except for the end.
There are race sequences in there, but
yeah, but it's not really an action movie. It's like it's a story about two famous rivals. But that trailer, man.
Yeah, no, the trailer does make it seem like it's some big cocky race film or action film, but it's like no, it's a very thought-provoking biopic about these two race car drivers and their competitive relationship. But yeah. It's the point to, like, Nick saying, like, the schizophrenic nature of this new Punisher trailer. I'm sure the Punisher is not a very metal show, if you want to think about that definition of metal. Like, if they try to... Well, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so how do you sell the complicated emotions going on throughout the entire show without, you got to hit that balance, right? You want the serious nature, the serious drama, but then you want that totally hardcore audience like you who want, dude, rock out to Metallica while Punisher takes out a bunch of dudes.
You damn right!
No, see, here's the thing.
Yeah, that's why I say. Okay, if you try to spend your life pleasing everybody, you're gonna fail at that every time. That's why I say please nobody. Just fuck it. It's coming out whenever it comes out. Fuck you. Like I want the actual thing of the Punisher, November 17th. Go to hell.
And here's the thing too, just to put this out there, because I know that's a big stereotype. With my voice and the fact that I love corn a lot, it's like, yeah, like Nick is one of those guys, like, yeah, motherfucker.
That's not a stereotype. That's your personality.
Hey, Shut up. No, but the thing is though, wow, that was nice, Ali. She fucking like with the hair sweep or sweep, sweep.
Rip.
No, but the thing is, like, one thing I don't want this to be, I don't want this to be the white version of Luke Cage, where basically, like, every time fucking Punisher comes up, it's like, wow, 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 dun, 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 and then it's like, you know, every time he shows up, he had to play fucking, like, Metallica or Iron Maiden or fucking Pantera, like, no, like, these trailers feel so generically, like, hey, are you white? Do you have a guitar? Well, this is the one for you! Like, fuck that, like... I'm sorry.
No, you're right, Nick. They need to play some bubblegum pop from the 90s, like Britney Spears while he's shooting up some
Or how about some orchestra shit? Do the comic book thing. It's supposed to be a serious fucking thing. His kid died and his wife's dead. Like, don't try to.
You're right. We
walk
should play
out.
Johnny Cash.
There we go.
Yeah,
That'd be okay.
no, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Yeah.
I would
I
watch.
hurt myself
Today. No, or anything,
No,
man.
you gotta play like Cocaine Blues or one of those like hard, those really faster Johnny Cash.
Nah.
I
Man
love how-
came to town as slow as possible.
I love how Justin,
Ooh,
of all
yeah.
of us, Justin's the one to bring up cocaine first. That's incredible.
Well, he
Okay,
is
I'm
the
surprised
reincarnation
Gotcha
of
didn't
Bryce
bring it up,
Campbell,
'cause-
you know?
Didn't you sing that at fucking in Austin?
No,
I
he's
tried
saying
to sing
Folsom.
cocaine.
Oh yeah,
No,
no,
he's
that
saying
was
Folsom Blues.
my bad.
Yeah.
No one had no cocaine, so it's hard to sing about it. I mean,
Yeah,
song.
Can y'all just agree that y'all just gonna let Ali sing next karaoke and everyone just shut the fuck up? I mean, I think that might
Okay,
be a idea.
First of all,
No. We need to let Alan sing the entire thing.
What are you talking
No,
about, man? I already
that
plan
is
to get her
never
on
gonna
fucking
happen.
Broadway. I'm gonna put Allie out there. I'm gonna put a little change jar. And we're gonna make some money, Allie. Sing, girl, sing.
I'll probably bring my guitar and my banjo.
You at least respond to me,
Allie,
then.
that look.
that look is all you need as a response.
She judges my soul.
Like a disapproving mother's look.
Oh man, wait,
No.
what? What?
That was the same look I got when I was extremely drunk going into our car.
Oh,
Every night in Austin.
God, dude. Hey, did you have to scoot 90s over, man, so you can fit?
No, because he was sitting and he had to sit in
No,
the front
Alan
seat.
had a Scoot 90s over, but he almost crushed his donut.
Oh.
Context and
okay.
big context.
Random
that-
donut he just like magically conjured. Like seriously, we were like, where did you get that?
Okay, so I was gonna say like that sounds. I didn't know if that was a euphemism or not, but I'm just
No,
like,
there's
might be.
literally a donut
No, there
involved.
was actually a donut, and we don't know where the heck it
oh
came from.
jeez.
Okay, I was laughing for like the euphemism. I didn't know the motherfucker was actually about to crush his donut. Like, fuck you, Alan.
There's
Crush him with his
really
donut.
footage.
Dude,
If we get permission to ever have it on Facebook or YouTube from him, I highly
Uh,
doubt it. But it's just a blank screen, and all you just hear is, Alan, scoot over, man. It's not enough room. And you hear Alan, come on, man. I'm trying to move over. Move your hand, nice. We get both room if you just move your hands. Alan, stop, Alan, stop. My donut.
I mean, technically speaking, except for I'd have to edit like some people out of it, but I see no real actual reason why we can't have it as one of the. I'd have to edit it though, and I have time off. I'll probably put it on YouTube,
But-
Facebook.
As you guys see, not a big thing here. Just flex and chill. Okay.
Hey.
Oh, hey, bongo.
Hey. Oh, hey.
What? Okay, you
Hi.
stop it. That's
Oh.
bad.
Let's
No,
go.
you stop too. No, both of you, motherfuckers. No. No, but yes, it's flex and chill, and hopefully this will be done pretty quickly. Oh, there's my Alan. I was waiting for that red shirt, baby. Oh my goodness.
Nick, whenever you say flex and chill, I feel like I need to go work out. It's just like,
Oh my
flex.
Bro.
Here's the thing, I'm gonna change this so you guys might want to take snapshots and everything, just like while you get the chance. But I've been misspelling flex and chill the whole fucking time on the thumbnails and the highlight videos. So I'm a
Yeah,
fucking
we
idiot.
actually were meaning to tell you about that. We've collectively
Oh,
just kind
yeah.
of hid it from you for years.
After months, yeah, literally. What the fuck?
I tried to be fast enough, but I had to run to my closet. I was busting my ass on shoes. Man, fuck you, Alan.
Dude, I started this gimmick because it was an accident. That I was accidentally wearing one of this shirt during a flex and chill moment, and I said, fuck it. I only have one of these shirts. I only wear this like once a month because just for this show.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna
Ali's
look at the
looking
red
for a
shirt.
red shirt. Ali's like, where's my red shirt? I don't know what the hell.
Really my
Yeah, I
gimmick.
think Harley took something. I'm like, wait.
Allie, you look like Cersei's now.
Like, I wish I could show y'all my wardrobe. Actually, no, I don't have red. I have a red dress shirt.
Okay, I have nothing red in my house. So once I start going on webcam, which by the way, like one thing to be excited for the New York show is like afterwards. Man, that's a goofy ass shirt.
It's a dress shirt.
Is that
man.
a pirate shirt?
I don't want to be a pirate.
Well, I'm a pirate bird, so fuck it.
I am the first looking like you. Damn right, we pirates.
Yeah.
Oh my
Rob the
god.
7 Seas, bitch.
That shit's awesome. No, man, but no, like, once the New York thing gets done, like, I'll be on camera, and no, I will not be wearing a Flex and Chill fucking shirt. Like, we'll change the colors to be black and white.
I'll fight Ganja.
Oh my god, this fucking
Seriously?
guy.
Where did you get that from, Allie? You gotta do it.
I don't have a red shirt. Sorry.
You don't have anything in your wardrobe that's red?
No, I really don't. Did I ever tell you guys? I feel like I told you guys the story.
No, what?
I did. I remember telling you guys, but you don't remember now until I say it. When I was young,
Uh-oh.
I had a superstition that if I wore a red shirt and there happened to be like a bull got loose, the bull would come for me first because I'm wearing a red shirt.
What
So
the
that's
fuck?
why. I don't know why, but that mindset, that like idea stayed in my head until I was an adult. That's why I don't have a lot of red in my wardrobe.
You superstitious ass.
I know it makes no sense, but somehow it's like implanted in my brain.
I think that's my favorite story ever for someone wearing a certain fucking color. It's like, what if a bull got out? But there aren't any bulls here. But
What if there's yeah, you never know. You never know. Okay, there was like a freaking what was it? Like a bull actually like showed up in Queens, New York. I'm not kidding you. Like he was just he was running down the street, and it was at the same time I was at my aunt and uncle's house in Queens, and it was just a couple of blocks away. They got loose. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I forgot how much New York is like Spain. Yeah, totally. Just skulls everywhere.
Like Queens, New
Ellie,
York.
look out.
Like it was all over the news. They're like, what the heck is happening?
Look
you're
at
right. We should all go running with the bulls if DT ever goes to Spain.
dude, that shit's amazing, man.
Midnight Cat Attack Pamplona. Pamplona.
Oh my god, I can't believe.
I'm just saying I actually feel sorry for you, like the fact that you even have that fucking superstition.
That's such a. I've
Such a-
never heard of that in my life.
Dude, I can't-
What if a bull comes after me?
I know. I don't know how I thought of that in the first place, but it's like always stuck with me since I was in elementary school. And for some reason, it just
Wait,
carried on.
Alex, somebody wants to meet you. Hey girl, how you doing? Hey there.
I thought you were gonna give her a can of Red Bull
in the
Fuck it.
background right now. Everybody get up! It's time to jam.
Actually, this is what Alex seems like she's wearing red. Like,
Got a little. thing going on. Welcome
Okay, so
to
Allie,
the
there
stage
you go.
jam.
Just never go to Chicago. That's your thing. Just
Or
don't
go to Chicago,
Chicago.
Queens, or Spain.
oh, that shit's great.
You know what? Also, Texas Longhorns. There you go. Don't go to Texas anymore.
Too fucking late.
Oh no.
Oh man, no, that's the most.
John, that's actual footage from Martin's younger days in Spain.
Oh, that's fucking.
Ah.
You're fucking stupid. No, but we'll move on though. I'm sorry. Just Allie, that really caught me off guard. Goddamn.
That was funny.
So Ganja, since
Yeah.
I've been pissing on people on every show we do, I'm gonna give myself a chance to do that once again, sir. Okay?
Why?
Because man, people's popular opinions, I don't agree with
That's
usually.
so many words. You just need to say I'm an idiot.
Yeah. No, you're smart. I think you're smart. But this over here, sir, Neo Yokio.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man.
Finally,
So what is?
talking
I'm so-
about this.
We're now on it. I'm so down. I've been waiting to talk shit about this movie for a minute.
I'm so mad at Nick. You made us watch 3 episodes of that shit during the fucking anime night.
I'm sorry, but man, well, I'll get into that right now. But okay.
Man, I'm so glad I avoided this. I'm very glad I did.
No, because here's the thing. Like, I'm gonna let you like start this off first because like you hate this, right? What made you? Did you hate this before? Like, because I started hating on this when the trailer came out. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this is some fucking awful shit.
See, I hate Neo Yokio, but it's like a Riverdale hate, and the hate I have for fucking The Room. It is stupid. It is horribly acted. The plot makes no goddamn sense. But I couldn't stop watching it till we got past the last fucking episode because I want to see how deep and how far this anime can go with its bullshit. And it did not disappoint to the point that it was trying to make the most Tumblr philosophical points I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like it was like if someone gave Jaden Smith like cliff notes of socialism and said, make a script about that now. And you got these weird, like, at one point this thing doesn't want to know if it wants to be about product placement, about, consuming culture and shit, or it's against that, or it's in the middle ground. And then sometimes he's fighting demons, Sometimes we're not fighting demons. We got robots walking around, but we don't got robots walking around. Allie, want to help me out before I lose my fucking mind?
Oh my god, like, man, Ganja, you hit it on the head. This is the room of anime.
Yeah.
Like, 100%. It doesn't know what the heck it wants to be. Well, I'm sorry, but like throughout the whole entire anime, whatever the heck this thing is, I could not help wonder, why the heck does the main character have a freaking robot? Like, there's no other robot in this whole entire freaking universe. He's the main character is the only person that has a freaking robot, and he just randomly disappears. That's the whole entire show.
Oh, Allie, it's not a robot, it's a mech, and there's a Cockney British woman that's running the thing.
Man, like, Jude Law is the voice. I'm like, Jude Law, what are you doing in this? Like, you got Susan Sarandon. Like, why? Why are they in this freaking crappy?
My favorite thing that I said to Alan, because I thought this was more philosophical than what the anime was giving me. But Alan's like, man, how much did they pay Jude Law? And I hit my bonds like, they paid Jude Law enough, but not enough.
I'm assuming this is a case of confusion where they're just like, oh, well, Will Smith's in an anime? Okay, yeah, we'll join in this. Oh, where is he? Oh, it's just Jaden. Oh.
Mr. Smith is in here. Oh, Mr.
No,
Smith. Yeah,
that's
with
the
him.
thing.
It's Jaden.
Like, you would think it was something like catered to his dad, and they just gave it to him because, nepotism was hard in Hollywood next to, molestation. But the fact is, like, you can tell that someone wrote this motherfucker for Jaden. Like, if someone just watched all his Tumblr, all his Twitter feed, and went, yeah, this is the good shit. This is the fucking good shit. I'll make some anime. I'm going to change the world. This is going to start a revolution on Netflix, motherfucker.
Okay,
Yeah, no, so I've only heard people's reviews on this, but I did hear universally that Jaden Smith is awful in this. Is that right?
Oh, yes. He is
the
absolutely
worst.
dreadful. Like, I swear, I thought he had some sort of talent for acting. I really thought that. I thought he was actually good in The Karate Kid. I mean, like,
Okay, yeah.
he showed promise. That's the only thing I've really seen him in, honestly. I didn't see him in After Earth. But,
He brought that After Earth shit here, Allie.
He was okay.
Man, either way, like, he has some sort of, like, talent, a little bit. You would never know in this. Like, he is the worst, one of the worst actors I've ever freaking heard in an animated series. Like, it was so bad. Everyone was terrible in this.
Actually, that's the thing. That's where I find the opposite. Like, he is clearly hands down the worst fucking voice actor. But it's funny. It's like you have the main character who's the worst voice actor in the entire thing, but everyone else is actually doing either a decent job or actually not a bad job. Like, again, Jude Law, like him being the butler, was actually like, wow. I'm like, okay, this actually he's actually at least putting some effort into this, as opposed to none at all. But then it just randomly goes to his friends who are just come out of nowhere all the fucking time and are just what the hell are any of you guys doing?
May I betray one of the characters' voice and vernacular that he liked to betray? Yo, son, this shit be wild as fuck, B. Jaden, man, you got a robot and shit, dog. We gotta go to this ballet, man. It's gonna be mad bitches. We're gonna be dressed up like Tuxedo Mask and shit. I'm gonna get all the hoes. Oh no, I turned into a hoe, B.
Oh yeah,
He literally turns into a woman.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that character that Ganja's portraying. Yeah, he turns into a woman.
Yeah, it's some bullshit that happens in the episodes of this cool
I grew these titties out just for method acting, Justin.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's the thing. I'm just gonna get this out of the way, then one of y'all can kill me, shoot me.
I know, Nick. I know you love the Toblerone scenes.
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
You don't
It's
deserve
Tumblr.
it,
That's funny
Tumblr.
though.
Here we go.
First off, before I even start, I watched episode 2, 3, and 4. Okay, putting out there right now. 2, 3, and 4. Justin, I watched some of it. Okay.
Now,
I'm
that's
just
fine.
saying-
You can review the stuff that you saw. There we go. That's our rules, right?
That's
Exactly.
a rule. Okay.
That's a great rule, actually. No, that's a great rule. Yeah, no, because here's the thing, man. I sit with you guys during anime nights, and man, like people, Ganja's a great person. So is Alan. So is Allie. Trey in the YouTube chat right now. You guys handle the anime night. So come to the anime night and hang out with these great folks who run that shit and make it great. I fucking hate anime. I really do. And the people who watch this shit, I'm sorry, but a lot of y'all, there's something wrong with you. Like, I'm sorry. It's just my own personal opinion. I don't like this shit. I don't like Death Note. I don't fucking like.
Good, because it sucks.
Yeah.
Suck it, Trey.
Well, here's the thing,
Nah,
though.
fam. You can't judge anything until you've watched Full Metal Alchemist.
Well, and here's another thing.
No, Nick,
Alan-
I think you should watch Twilight of Anime Inuyasha. It's a great.
No,
What the hell?
No, I saw it when I was a
He will
kid.
hate it.
That
no,
anime
No, I
is a
hate that
fucking-
shit.
Dude, that anime
No, I'm
is a
on
virus,
Ali's.
man.
No.
I'm on Ellie's side. Fullmetal Alchemist is awesome. So.
Oh, yeah, it's
yeah.
the best one. Dude,
It's really
Inuyasha is a fucking virus, man. When that shit
but-
started happening, it was like everywhere. It started off
Yeah.
slow.
Twilight. It's just Twilight.
Hey
It
man,
was
I
scary,
caught
man.
that herpes. All right.
Dude, it was scary because you'd hear about it from a few people, and then the next day more people, and then more people, and then my friends. I'm like, everyone around me likes this anime. What's going on?
And
That's
like,
right.
here's the
Nick's
thing-
point. What were we gonna say, Nick?
No, because
Yeah.
the thing is though, is like Alan, like you know, you
Yeah.
like Attack on Titans. I tried to give season fucking 3 a chance. Motherfucker, that shit was bad. Like that first episode, man.
It's not even on season 3. What are you?
Oh, season
Two.
2, the one,
Too.
yeah, the one you showed
Season
me.
2 is awful. Like, if you want to sit down and watch Attack on
Garbage.
Titan, we'll watch the first couple of episodes, the first 5 or 6, and you'll really get a good handle of the show. But yeah, like your point is like, I can't really stand anime because so much of it, it's like I compare anime to country music. Of most of it sucks, but every now and then you'll find something good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
And then,
But-
I go by that same philosophy for most things, and I can say, I mean, I see the problem with anime is that it caters to fans, and anime fans have. I mean, if we know people like JP who have these, they have interesting predilections when it comes to what they like about anime, so they try to
Yeah.
cater to those people, you know. And I think that's a problem. Good anime usually doesn't cater to what they think people want; they just do their stories. I don't know.
And then you know Ganja, like you bring up Inuyasha. I fucking hate Inuyasha too. So, but I mean, then I got
Sound it out. Sound it out. Ayuyusha. Ayuyusha.
Inuyasha. There we go.
How about like I'm gonna Oja, like whatever the fuck, I don't know, fucking weird. It's INUSH and then sh.
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Innuendo.
Like
Innuendo,
like
there we go.
like that bitch got an innie and then Yasha.
I don't give a fuck. So people, the thing is though, there is things I do like.
Ellie's
Nana's good.
face right now. She's trying to add that up in her head.
Yeah, I know it's like a
Don't
math
try to
equation.
think too hard about. Don't think too hard about what Ganja says.
But you know, there's things I've been watching like Tokyo Ghoul and Ghoul. I fucked that up. The first
That's pretty
generation
good.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Nana's good. Death Parade is fucking awesome. I love Death Parade.
Not a huge fan of it.
But, you know, shit like that's alright. But then you get to something like this, and I'm like, okay, now we're back to the stupid shit that you guys, and sometimes the anime fucking community, they like. This was actually, it's American, I know what the fuck is happening, they seem to be having fun, they got the fucking robot, you guys are asking questions about robots, it's an anime! Like, they have fucking,
But
how
it makes
much,
no sense within the
But it
context
never
of the
does.
world.
it never
that's the thing.
does.
When you watch some of the things you've watched, the Tokyo Ghoul, like when that stuff happens, like sometimes fantastical things happen. Sometimes Fullmetal Alchemist, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens early, but then the show goes on to explain it. With this, it brings up a bunch of BS and never ever even attempts. Like, dude, the main character is a Ghostbuster. They like start the thing off by explaining that kind of, but they never go anywhere with anything. The reason this is bad is not because it's doing crazy stuff. You watch something like fucking Gundam that has robots everywhere. It's that it never bothers to stick with anything. It spends half the time trying to be some weird anime, another half trying to be philosophy, and a bunch of other time trying to be a character drama, and it goes nowhere with everything that it does. Also, why are you guys laughing?
All right, if you look in the chat, Al, you're trying to understand what Ganja says. You guys don't know the half of it, especially when I'm intoxicated.
Dijon, every time I'm explaining a point, you put a picture up that distracts everybody. Every time.
You might as well just put it over your face, like just like.
Okay.
Okay, Alex, let me just
That's like Dijon's like, oh, Al's making a point. Fuck him.
No, it's no. But the thing is, I was listening too, because another thing too that you guys are saying as well, and just hey, I'm not saying I'm right because I didn't watch the whole season. You guys all had the final word. Allie wants to fucking slap me at this point. But the thing is though, as I'm talking about the show, there's situations where like even you guys are saying certain things about like you know, like, oh man, the way they talk, like, yo man, how you doing? Cuz the thing is though, that's his friends. People actually do sometimes talk like that, and Jaden Smith's character is. He's around those types of people, man. Like,
Our
it's like
problem is not the way they talk like that, because when you look at the Boondocks, it is something in that same format on the veins of Neo-Yokio, but is performed and done and executed a lot better. Even down to the voice work, where they brought even rappers who are known for being fucking lazy when it comes to voice work, who actually gave a shit for a few seconds and actually made some characters that were memorable. Up to like I think Busta Rhymes and a few other rappers became regulars on the show. Snoop Dogg was one of them, and they have done example of like introducing that, you know, I guess that hip hop culture into anime more done properly, especially with I think it was Samurai Champloo who did that with their music. They've done this in the past where they added hip hop and hip hop culture, hip hop slang to it, and done it very well. This is just one of the cases where this is what Americans think of anime, to the point that they randomly add robots, because when you think anime, you think fucking robots for some reason.
It doesn't commit to anything. Like
Yep.
it does a bunch of stuff. It throws a bunch of stuff in the air and goes from episode to episode. Like when you watch something like Boondocks and you sit through the well, there's like crazy choreographed fight scenes of them. Like there's like one random thing is like Riley was trying to leave the house, and the other guy's like, "I'm not gonna let you leave the house." And they have this giant fight over the house. It's crazy. But they commit to whatever they're doing. This show has a commitment problem of it doesn't know what the hell it wants to be. Does it want to be a weird, like, supernatural Ghostbusters fighting show? Does it want to be some political, like, we're going to talk about the state of the world and consumerism? Do we want to talk about how kids are?
Alan. That you say that they don't continue, but I think four of the 3 episodes out of the 6 or 8 that they have, that they actually go deeper into like the economics of New Yokio and the poor, just basically having a racetrack built right through the city without their knowledge, and they just drive through and rent, and they could possibly hit poor people, and they never tell nobody that.
Yeah,
but
they only
the thing is,
they
they only spend 5 minutes with it, and it's like the most basic of basic ideology of, don't rich people take advantage of poor people? Doesn't it suck? Like, it was pissing me off more on how lazy it was with the idea of his politics. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it was really Tumblr philosophy.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you too, like, do you feel, because, I mean, and this is a big thing for me, especially because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, okay, like, for one, there's some racist ass shit that James Smith okayed. I didn't get that when I watched this. I mean, I was actually wrong by judging the trailer a certain way, which, I mean, that's what we do. We rate trailers, right? So it's like, I don't feel bad for it. But I do feel like sometimes I am wrong when I say something about a trailer, and this is one of those cases because I thought it was going to be racist. Nothing in here seemed racist. It was like, holy shit, like how people want with Black Panther and a lot of other things, like white people got their anime. Like,
it was weird, but yeah, you're again, like you say, it's just a show. It's fucking weird. It's stupid. It has no internal consistency, and things just happen for the sake of happening.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it like if you were like, Alec? I mean, like, don't you feel like this is probably one of the first times that you got like, your own like black anime? Like, I don't know much about anime if there's a lot of black culture animes or anything, but like, does this count
Afro
as
Samurai.
having what's it called?
Oh, just saying, Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, but Alec, go ahead.
Well, like, there wasn't really anything in the anime to, like, recognize black culture. I mean, it's just like the main character happened to have a darker complexion, and yeah, his friends were black, but it's like, especially the main character, like, his grandmother is white. So it makes me think that, like, we don't know what the heck type of race he is really. Like, I guess maybe he's mixed. They never really show his parents, but they never even mention anything about, like, any sort of culture or anything. So no, it's just one of those things. Like, okay, he has dark complexion. They don't really touch on it or anything. I mean, hey, it could be said that it's like, why should it matter what race, like, equality, whatever, but at the same time, just like, well, it's not an issue or anything.
Because for me, like, I mean, like, the most Americanized type of, like, anime that I ever watched was obviously Pokemon. And I still never felt like there was any kind of representation of our type of culture because it's not from here. It's
okay. So that's the thing. It's not really. That's not really an Americanized. That was done for American audiences. You want Americanized things in Japanese anime? Look up Yu-Gi-Oh and look up one of the characters that's the American character. He has like a fucking do-rag with the American flag, and he's like a gambler. And it is just, oh my god, it is.
Bandit Keith, right?
Yeah. What they do is whenever Japanese animes want to do some sort of culture, they always go to the extreme, like get what you think an American stereotype is and multiply that by 100. That's always what they do in Japanese culture. In fucking oh my god, this one's the most ridiculous. In Naruto, they have a different villages all over the place, and one of the villages primarily people of darker complexion, and one of the main people from
hip hop.
Yeah. One of the main guys from there is a rapping like guy, and all his thing is he raps all the time. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this.
Oh yeah, they do that all the time, and it's really annoying in Japanese culture.
Ridiculous.
Like I mentioned, actually, funny enough, like in my anime reviews when I used to do them, like in Durarara, there's this character called Simon, and he's a Russian black guy. And the way they designed his character is a little bit racist. just the way like his lips are really pink, got the really dark skin. Like it doesn't look great. And then in Soul Eater, everyone always is like, oh my god, where you complain about race? But like there is this one scene, and it just irks me every time I see it, that like the kids are at an event that everyone's like dancing or whatever, in the band, like they have these white guys playing like, you know, the piano and all that. In the background, you see like black dudes that like have the really big pink oversized lips, and they look kind of like monkeys, and they're playing the like, you know, the bass or whatever. And I'm just like, is anyone else not seeing this? Are you serious? Like, are they really doing that? And it's not like they don't have other black characters that actually like have stuff to do, that they don't draw them like that. So I'm like, why are you drawing these characters like that? Like, what?
Yeah.
They gave Allie the inspiration to make that, you know, short documentary about the Trail of Tears and start with a drunk.
Okay. Seriously.
No, the Japanese are
Talk
not.
about inside jokes.
The Japanese are not known for progressive views on African Americans or African characters.
Oh no,
Or
but the
any
thing
culture
is,
war.
no, that's the problem. The problem I have is that how come you're able to draw these black characters completely fine and without any stereotypes, and these characters are talking, they don't have any stereotypes of like, yo man, what's up? No, they're just like regular characters that do like stuff just like any of the other characters. So why the heck all of a sudden you have these particular characters that have these stereotypes? It's like, no, you do know the difference. The internet exists in Japan. Like, it's one of the most like technologically advanced country in the world. So there's no freaking reason. There's no reason why you should have these stereotypes in your shows. You know it's wrong. You know that's not how everyone is. Like, don't give me that crap. Sorry.
No, there is also not a lot of black people in Japan, but
No,
I mean,
I know
other
it's
than that-
homogenous, but they do know the difference. They do
No, I know.
know the difference because
I guess
of the evidence we
Well,
have.
then-
Snap
Yeah.
your finger, do the neck thing, Alex. Snap your finger, do the neck thing.
yeah, no, and that goes to the problem too of, you know, our culture. We can still have racist imagery, but even back to the point of Neo Yoko. Then, so with this being American anime, I mean, so does it feel like the problem is that it's just a bunch of fanboys who created this? Is it that we just can't nail that tone of anime? Like, where do you think, like, aside from this race stuff, where do you think this went wrong then? Or, I mean, Nate, it sounds like you don't hate it as much.
Start.
The room of anime, Justin.
It went from the
But
start.
why?
It went
I mean, when I look at the,
Sorry, to answer your question of where this went wrong from, the very fucking beginning. Because, like I said, there's a lot. Oh
Damn.
God,
See?
Dragon Ball Z.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, yeah.
Oh, is that original Dragon Ball? Okay, so anyway, Skull.
That's some
My
racist
point
shit.
is from the start, because again, this feels like a Jaden Smith passion project that only got greenlit because he's the son of Will Smith. So it's like, well, yeah, I mean, we could sell this as that. You see so much just inconsistency with everything that is doing from the very beginning. There's no clear idea what the fuck this city even is. It's like right from the very beginning, this is just some BS. And the thing is, I never watched the trailer. I remember Trey just kind of ranting about it. And I was like, whatever. It wasn't until we one night we were waiting for Rick. This is what happened. We were waiting for Rick and Morty, a random episode of Rick and Morty. I can't remember what it was. It was the season finale of the one right before. We literally watched 5 episodes of this in a row, take a break to watch Rick and Morty, and then finish it. We finished this in one sitting.
I mean,
We like our culture done in one straight shot.
We watched like
So
4
you have to
episodes of
revisit
Riverdale in a row.
here's the thing.
Well,
I'll let y'all.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it's just Neo Yokio is just mixed with a bunch of like it seems it's just like Sucker Punch, where it's like, oh man, that would be really cool. Would be if we did this and this and that and this and that, and then they just like made this thing, like made the movie, they made the show, and like it makes no sense whatsoever. Like it's just a bunch of cool ideas that they don't ever take the time to explain.
Okay.
And it's just very confusing and jumbled up. And like it could have been something really interesting, like what Ganja said. Like they had some social messages. They just were like they just put it in the background like it didn't matter, which that's actually should be what it should be in the forefront. So it's just like this is just a weird freaking show. It's just like, yeah, they had cool ideas, but like it was told in the most worst way. Like they got a writer that didn't know how to write. That's how it felt.
You nailed it with a Sucker Punch comparison. Because
Yeah.
just that had its own philosophical messages. That had the random crazy robots that came out of nowhere, random war scenes, random philosophical moments here and there. It had no fucking consistency from scene to scene. Like, yeah, this is the Sucker Punch of anime.
This is
Okay.
the Dooney and Burke Sucker Punch.
Well, and I I can say this. I mean, also to that Sucker Punch comparison, just look at the trailer. The animation doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not great,
That's
but
fine.
it looks like
It's passable.
yeah. So I guess you can say that's a compliment. But I also did notice too, Nick, about the misspelling of Flex and Chill. It says Flex and Chill on the top of the clips there too. So
Yeah, no, I'm a fucking dumbass.
It's fine.
I know. Sorry. I just because once I saw that, I couldn't ignore that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey,
Is that,
dude, at this point, it's tradition with the MCA, man.
Yeah, no, but I will fix it. Like, look, that's my
Okay,
face right now. Every
okay.
time I see, I'm like, oh god. No, but for me, I'm gonna go and just give my rating because, like, here's the thing, and keep in mind, just to reiterate, like, I didn't watch all of it. I just watched 3 episodes, so it's not as hard on me. But it's just like I've seen so much horrible fucking anime, and I'm starting to kind of get into my anime like right now. I'm watching a lot of good fucking shows. So I'm like, okay, you know, everything's kind of cool. Whatever, we'll see what happens. Tokyo Ghoul is the shit. Cannot wait for the live action fucking movie. But anyways,
yeah.
this is definitely like a 2 out of 5 for me. I'm sorry, but it's like my bar is a little weird because I don't watch a lot of anime, and I fucking like, dude, Dragon Ball Z I fucking despise. I fucking despise Yu-Gi-Oh! I fucking despise any Shabu
Don't blame
Shabu.
you for-
He despised life. He despised God. He despised children.
I fucking hate.
One day we'll look at Full Metal Alchemist, Nick, and
We
that
will.
was the whole.
And it's great.
And then he'll despise
I'll
you.
show
Al.
you the world.
Exactly.
But Allie, you like what would you rate? I can already guess. But what would you rate?
Oh God!
okay.
Like, I was gonna give it a half star, but I'll give it 1 star just because I couldn't stop watching. It was just a beautiful train wreck.
Aw. Alan, how about you, sir?
I can't give this a bad rating. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, but the most fun I ever had was watching it with Alejandra in the 90s. So if you watch this by yourself, you are doing a disservice to yourself. Grab a bunch of your buddies and just enjoy the hell out of this weird... It's not even that long. 6 episodes, 20 minutes. You'll be done this in like a couple of hours. But I can't give it a rating out of anything because it's a disservice. This is such a weird, stupid fucking show that is bad in every single way. But from moment to moment, you're just trying to digest this. What the fuck am I watching? So get like 5 or 6 of your friends, get some alcohol, and just enjoy your fucking night.
Okay,
No.
so would you watch this or would you watch Gotham, Alan?
Oh.
This because it's shorter. Gotham is like 40 minutes apiece. This is like you get like 2 episodes of Gotham is the first season of Neo Yokio.
Okay, just for that look, I was so with
I
acting.
just legitimately think.
Oh, they're falling in
Kelly
love
was saying
again.
this, but yeah. We got to do.
No, they are. No.
My brain stopped myself. Go on, God.
But the thing is, no. Well, the thing is, usually we all do separate things. Like I'll ask Alan, Ganja, Justin, me. Like we'll get into the whole thing. But it is 2.5 hours, and we do have some shit to do in the after hours. Once again, people horror stuff. Now, actually, while we're on the subject, I'm gonna go and just double check that fucking straw poll. I'm leaving it on your face, Alan, because this is all you. Okay, this is
Yep.
all you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. So unless it's changing in the next couple of seconds, I'm just gonna put this straight up. Unless there's 15 votes of the thing, we're gonna watch 28 Days Later.
Yay!
Oh, fuck you,
right,
man.
all right.
You're right. God damn it. Ugh. I'm just saying, 28 weeks
Wait,
later
wait.
is better, y'all.
20 Days Later is tied with a thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
tied.
so I'm making a choice.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me come in there. I like to play around.
You're gonna just vote for one of them and make it a clear cut.
Yeah, I am. Ready.
Well, I mean,
I made the choice.
I'm
Yay,
not-
please!
There you go, Alex.
I love 20 Days
Okay,
Later. I've never
well,
seen the thing. Okay,
Yay!
there we go.
Nick, stop
All
stuffing the ballots. You voted for Nightmare on Elm Street again.
Wait. Oh, I can do that.
There's 2
Yo.
votes.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for fucking Iron Elm Street 3. No, I'm just playing it. No,
That's just gonna start growing.
If that wins, I'm still picking 28 Days Later.
Man,
Yeah, okay.
no, here's the thing, though. 20 Days Later is a pretty good fucking movie. Now, Justin, have you seen 20 Days Later?
Not according to Skull.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it. Oh yeah, we saw Skull and I were debating of it.
Oh, wow, really? You two are actually
Okay.
fighting.
Yeah, who would've thought?
Oh.
The true MCA couple.
Oh my gosh! But yes, I've seen 20 Days Later. We actually did that for a horror movie class I did BYU, and I watched it way before that. I'm sorry, Skull. You're so wrong. 20 Days Later is awesome. I don't care what you say.
Hey, if
So,
Skull comes to New York, y'all can fight about it in real life.
we will. And you know what I'm saying? And again, sorry, Nick. Walking Dead openly admitted they ripped off 20 Days Later for the first issue of the comic. It's exactly the same thing as the opening scenes of 20 Days Later, just redone with zombies. I mean, with the traditional zombies. That's what I'm saying. That's the exact
Yeah,
same thing.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you meant like the actual show. Like, I mean, like the comics.
No,
I don't know.
both.
Yeah, but
Both.
yeah. Man, I'm worried about this
Well, it
shit,
has to
man.
be both if it's a comic because it's based off the comic.
Well, because that's the thing. It's like in the TV show and the comics, they did the exact same thing in the first issue, essentially.
But you do know this has happened many times before, especially like with movies like or the books like I Am Legend. Like I mean, this is not the only time that's been done. 20 Days Later is not the first. Like,
no, but
I
I mean,
Am Legend, man.
visually,
What a
visually
fucking
aesthetically,
shit movie.
it's almost the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. But,
and you're
yeah.
thinking Will Smith, I Am Legend, like the actual like book. Alan is actually not nowhere near.
Okay,
as
I
bad
got
as
one
that fucking
question.
movie.
Okay, I have one question about the book I Am Legend. Is the fucking cure for cancer gone viral still the fucking cause of it?
No. The cure for
'Cause that
cancer
is
is something.
fucking stupid.
No, originally the book is about vampires, like traditional vampires,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh, is it?
a totally different story. Yeah, the stuff with Will Smith is made up mostly for that movie.
Okay, because that cure for cancer gone viral is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard for an explanation for zombies.
And speaking of this, tomorrow.
But
Wrestling, we're doing the ringside hangout. I actually hate that I just said that shit because like I kind of was hoping that we won't do
this
it.
is the MCA.
I fucking hate ringside hangout. But then afterwards, man, Walking Dead tomorrow. If you all want to message me and just hold me because it's man, whatever's gonna happen. I love this fucking show, Justin. I'll choke you the fuck out.
I'm not gonna say the show is all bad. My parents still watch it,
Oh, I'll do
and
that.
I watch it every now and then. Like and that's what I'm saying. Like I don't watch it because I fell out of love with it in season 3, but it's got good stuff in it. It's not all devoid of quality. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, you
They
better.
got
You better
Trevor,
fucking say that.
they got Trevor from Grand Theft Auto in it now. That's awesome.
Yeah,
You know?
sure.
I
gotta
gotta
say,
binge season 7. That's the only thing I haven't
if
watched.
they kill Trevor from fucking GTA, like that's gonna hurt.
yeah,
me.
you know what they should do? They should stop his head in.
No, fuck that. Dude, and then you did my
Anyways,
boy
guys.
Johnny like that. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll get into GTA shit.
No, I actually like the little conversation y'all are going. I just want to remind them real quick, just in case like they forget in between our little rant about GTA. Guys, we're going to be doing the after hour viewing party. It's going to be different horror movies. You guys already saw the lineup. It's going to be 28 days later. The same rules apply. Keep talking to a minimum or about the film itself. We don't want you guys talking over the film. And this is a horror movie. 28 days later, this is one of the more films that builds up tension. So I'm pretty sure you guys would know when to be quiet and when to laugh your ass off and joke around. So I trust y'all.
Yeah, no, and also it is more of a drama than a horror film in some ways. Like it's more a horror film in the end, but yeah, just be patient with it. And yeah, like I just said,
I'm
don't
getting
check-
worried, man, because motherfuckers are like, this is inspiring, and every single time I see an influential fucking movie, I get bored out of my fucking mind. So I'm just like, I'm
Nah,
worried
this
about
one's
this.
good.
No.
Yeah, you'll like
It's
this
not like Blade Runner.
one. Yeah.
Blade
That's what I'm
Runner,
saying. People who talk
Ghost
shit
in-
about our Blade Runner viewing party, they don't know that we stayed quiet for 30 to 40 minutes. That was the longest I've seen you guys stay quiet. I was proud of y'all because that movie fucking sucked. Anyways, you ready to end this, Nikki D?
I am, but one more thing, just coming from me, Alan. Look at my little avatar. Okay, look at the screen. It is a
Hello,
little bit
Jamaica.
boring. It's a little bit boring. A
Yeah.
little bit, just a little bit.
I just worried about the whole, it's an influential movie. I'm just like,
No, it's not Blade Runner. It's all you need to know.
Okay.
Little
Stuff
bit.
happens in 28 days later. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
Something happened. Great.
No, dude, you actually have to
talk.
watch it 3 times before you like it, man. You gotta like watch
I'm
it.
gonna kill you, Nick Diaz.
And if you still
No,
don't
keep
like
watching
it,
it. I like the Milo's response. Keep watching it till you like it.
oh my God. I love that shit. People, that is it. We are done. Ganja Guru on 3, sir.
3.
1, 2, 3. Where did you guys go?
That's all.
Is it on purpose?
I'm hard. Leave me alone.